Good evening, everyone, and welcome. It is Thursday night, and it is time for a brand new NLG show. And we want to welcome everybody in. Look at that chat room already. Good grief. This is what I'm talking about. We've got Witty. Witty's joining us from across the pond. And,
Witty.
Yes. So what's up, boys? How's your week's been? Everybody good?
Yeah. It's been good.
Started out rough.
That's all right, but here we are. Here we are.
Here we are.
It's Thursday night, and it is a great night to talk video games. Welcome, everybody. I am Mike Mullis, and this is your place for video game talk, the NLG Show. I'm gonna run down the motley crew here real quick. To my left, I can't touch him though. I can reach across, but
just point. Just
no,
point.
I'm trying to grab him, but I can't. There we go.
Point. Just point.
My hair.
It is the man, the myth, the legend, the HTK. He is in the game. Peter,
He's in the game.
What's
he's
up?
always in the game.
Always. What's up, brother?
Glad to be alive. Glad to extend my NLG contract again. So it's all good. It's gaming.
Nice try. Every time.
Every
Dang.
time. Frankie wanted me to remind you that you're under contract until 2027.
2027.
Yes.
Is that okay?
So.
God, me and Peter will be 54 years old.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'll be
Still
53.
gaming.
That's
That's
right.
right.
We have at least 2 more console generations in us, John.
I hope so.
Yes.
Yeah.
I listened to one of the shows that we did, and we actually had that in there, which was pretty cool. It was a cool show, somewhere in early March. So. But yeah, I mean, gaming has been good. A lot of new games out. Like I've been playing SnowRunner, which is awesome.
So we're gonna come back. I want to come back around to you because I want you to tell us about that game.
Yeah,
We all have games to
we
talk
might
about
have some
tonight.
footage too.
Well, I think we do. Now I haven't seen it yet, so I got it right off a Mixer. We'll see if it's we'll see if it works. But yes, I believe that I
it
do.
should be good.
Awesome.
And we got that new Street of Rage.
Oh yes, I got footage of that. Don't worry.
We got footage of that. I played it just a tiny little bit, just to get a taste of it. And let's see what else I played. Sea of Thieves a little bit.
Very nice.
And that game, what's it called? Bring Us the Moon.
Deliver Us the Moon.
Deliver Us the Moon.
Yes.
Sorry.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Bring it, deliver us. Frankie would
Yeah.
know all about delivering.
True.
If it would have been Wallace and Gromit, it's like Bring Us the Cheese, you know?
Yes.
But yeah, another.
Jeez,
That's,
Gromit.
it's that chase. It's Sven still. But,
It's like Frankie Stranding.
I love all that.
Dude. Jen just started getting into that stuff, so it was like
Right.
she's like, "Did you know there's a movie about were-rabbits?" I was like, "Yeah, I saw it in theaters."
And,
So,
and Sean the
that's-
sheep.
Yeah, I was introduced to that. That's I'm not sure how to feel about that still, but
That's just funny. And my daughter, she has like a clock that looks like a sheep, and we named it Sean. So just based on that,
Nice.
Sean the sheep.
Very nice.
So
it's
yeah,
like it's like Dave Dahl has started already.
Yes.
Dude, Retroman, it's like Mike he's not even on the show tonight. Oh man. So all right.
So he likes wrestling. The first time I heard of this.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, that's my new co-op partner, man. We
That's
got
right.
some games to go through. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So he'll be your tag team partner in the ring too.
Oh yeah.
And next up in the middle, center square, one of the most positive guys in gaming. He doesn't care what you play on as long as you have a good time doing it. Fastback, Chris Williams. What's up, brother?
Bah humbug. Get busted, y'all gamers.
No, the day you say bah humbug, that is when I give up gaming. When you lose your positivity, I'm done. So
Yeah, that'll be get off my gaming lawn.
It's got the Razor Ramon toothpick and everything.
he does.
Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Nah, it's been a good week, short week, so I'm off tomorrow. And just tons of games, some great games out right now. Game Pass.
You have a gnome stealing stuff behind you.
Oh yeah.
Oh, do you?
What are you stealing?
Oh.
My
Oh,
daughter.
yeah. Good eye, Frank.
Wow, I didn't even see. Oh.
Jeez.
But no, so because I got a couple show and tell stuff. Maybe a little bit later on, I'll unbox the Steel Series, the Cyberpunk.
Oh, nice.
Oh, ooh, very
Cyberpunk.
nice.
Yeah,
How are
did
they?
you-
How they
Did you get
sound?
the controller?
Yeah. No, I didn't get the controller.
Oh,
Got the Elite Series
Nice.
2.
Just we
But
have a head.
of course, I couldn't leave that. I couldn't leave that in the box, so I had to play that.
Right.
What are you doing?
That is adorable. That is absolutely adorable. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I got a couple little goodies to show off here in a little bit, but tons of little bit of Gato Roboto.
Yeah.
And of course, Streets of Rage. Downloaded that as soon as I got home from work.
Yeah, pretty awesome that it's in Game Pass day one. That's
Yeah,
pretty
Yeah.
big.
and I had that downloaded on 2 Xboxes, one in the living room, one in here. So told my wife about it. So I think the 3 of us are gonna be playing that later on.
Very
Since
nice.
you can play, I think 4 players couch co-op at least, right? But online it's 2-player. I think
2-player
co-op.
online. I don't know about
Yeah.
offline. I haven't.
I think it's 4-player co-op
Yeah.
offline and 2.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
2 online. I definitely saw 2 online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And then I started a little bit of Deliver Us the Moon. So
Okay.
I definitely want to try to play that through the weekend. So, and of course, it's a beautiful game.
Hey.
We're getting some Hello Kitty too. Aw. Aw. She's
How you
adorable. Being adorable.
Of course.
So, well, that's cool. I'm gonna have to get. I don't know what to play next, but that's for
I
another
know.
day.
It's
So.
yeah. And then a quick shout out to Coop. Coop's been helping me work on building a PC.
Oh right.
So I bought the tower, and of course I plan on as stuff goes on sale. I know. What was it? Yeah, he put up a little list for me. So slowly but surely that'll be going together, and I'll definitely show that off as that stuff comes in. And
Oh man, look at all of our friends entering the chat room.
Oh yeah.
Dreadpool, Jay, our graphic designer, Jay, one of our logo designers, De Niro. See, we got both of them. I got both of them on the screen now. See, I was able to get them both. I was able to get the logo at the top, which is Jay's, and the lapel in the middle, which is De Niro's. So I represent
Right.
both. So, and our new friend and brother Pete for opening every box. Man, your source for in television videos. Just saying. And there's Coop.
yeah.
There's Coop. Our brother
Hey,
Coupon.
hey, so I don't know if we're gonna like get to talk about that, but Tommy was on some podcast and he was talking about the little I guess like in the box they're shipping like a little analog stick for you to put on your phone so that you have like an actual
Yes.
Mhm.
so he put it on the actual Amico controller because people were asking like, oh well, if I want to play a fighting game, how would that work? And he was showing that you could put this thing on the Amico controller since it's a touchscreen, and you can use that as like your directional thing with the buttons for input. I was like, all right,
Yeah.
cool, that's a solution.
Yep. Yep. So, we knew about that.
Yeah, we knew about that.
We knew about that.
Yeah.
We can actually talk about
But
that.
now
We can talk about it
officially
now.
know about
We can talk about it now
Yeah,
officially
yeah.
because he
Now that
broke.
he's-
Yep. So,
Mhm.
yep, that was one of the things that we got to see. So there's more cool stuff coming. We just can't talk about it. We simply can't talk about it. But
Yep,
there's
sorry,
some other
but-
really, 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 really cool stuff coming for the Amico. And when Tommy breaks that news, then we'll talk about it. So
Top secret stuff.
it's top secret. It's secret squirrel stuff for sure. So, all right, next up, to the left of Chris, to the right of Frankie, he is, yep, right that way. He is the console hugger. He is the man who will buy every game. He is the man who
And
will
not play
have and not play. He will have every console. Coronavirus be damned. He is John Plays Techno Fabulous. What's up, brother?
Hey, thanks for the intro. No, I've been doing real good. I've been actually very busy between doing some game reviews and getting those published on my webpage. I've been working towards getting my platinum trophy in MLB The Show, and I've been playing. I got home from work today, and I played some Streets of Rage 4. Excellent, by the way. It was awesome. I got halfway, I think, through the second level. But I'm on Luigi's Mansion. I think I'm on like the 6th floor of the hotel. There's like 17 floors. So I need this weekend, I need to bust through that game and finish off Luigi's Mansion. Our buddy Daredevil Dave Dahl out there, I've got some co-op scheduled with him. So he's my new tag team partner. And I'll be joining him in Retromania when it launches.
Nice.
Yeah, so make it happen, Dave.
He may yet be in that game too.
I mean, I'd even settle for his manager or mascot, anything. Just get me in the game. I just want to be pixelated,
There's nothing like it, John.
If I drink enough beer, you look pixelated. So
Oh my goodness. All right, and so lastly, over to the far left, he's wearing the very awesome Assassin's Creed shirt today, which is also apropos because of course we have a new Assassin's Creed announcement that came this morning that we'll talk about a little bit, and I've got the trailer for it. He is the indie gamer extraordinaire of our podcast. He finds the games like Joe Toon that that actually turn us on to them. So I still play Jotun once in a while. I haven't beaten that yet, but
I haven't either.
I think I have it on like 2 or 3 different platforms, and I haven't touched it yet.
Yep.
Did Jotun come out for the Xbox?
Yeah.
Okay, I got it on PS4. I did not. That was a
Probably. I think I have it on like Steam and some other ones too. I was like,
yeah.
I want to say Sundered came out on Xbox too.
Did it?
I could be
think
wrong.
It did.
I might be wrong.
I don't know if it did or not. We could check. But anyway, it is Frankie Alor. How you doing, man?
I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's been a long week, and by long I mean like I was off Monday and Tuesday. Everyone, well, not everybody, but my mother-in-law and Jen had to get tested for the thing.
No.
Dude, that is not fun to watch. Like
Aw.
I didn't have it done. Like I was in the car with Jen because it was a drive-through thing. But it's because she works at a hospital. She has a cough. They're like, well, just err on the side of caution. But man, they take like this little plastic Q-tip thing and just. I was like, no.
Damn.
You played Assassin's Creed and you saw the Egyptians, when they pulled the
Yeah,
brain out.
that's actually literally what she said. She's like, well, now I know what it feels like to have your brains pulled out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was. It looked like a really, really bad time. But she's negative. Mother-in-law's negative. So
Good.
everyone's
Oh,
good on
wonderful.
that front. I'm
Wonderful.
finally getting over whatever I had. So that's nice.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, you've always got the ring pop as an alternative.
That's true. It's very true.
True.
But I used the extra day to. I finished Yakuza Kiwami 2. Which I loved how that game went. The main antagonist, Ryuji, I think his name is. He just the way the cat and mouse game that you play with him throughout the game, and then like you have like of course the end of the game. It seems like with every Yakuza game you play, like there's some kind of big crazy plot twist, and you're just like, oh, I kind of saw that coming, and then something else stupid happens, and you're like, what the hell? Come on! So yeah, so that was cool though. I loved it. I would highly recommend it. If you're getting into the Yakuza games, I know Kiwami 1 just came to Xbox. Was it last week? 2 weeks ago? But I don't know. It's $20.
Yes.
I know it's in Game Pass, but I buy them because I want them to keep putting Yakuza games on Xbox. So yeah, so that was another one I knocked off my list. I installed 3, and in the meantime, like I was just sort of like something to play, so I started Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, which we were talking about in the Discord that it's the inferior version, Ninja Gaiden 2.
Yes. They tried. Don't get me wrong. They tried.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like I guess there's like new boss fights, like you fight the Statue of Liberty and stuff. What in the hell are you doing?
I'm showing Chris's daughter my toad.
Look.
That's not no.
Or-
Chris, you need to not.
Yeah.
Encourage this.
That could possibly
That's
have
one
been
thing
worded.
I've got is props.
That could have been worded better.
So.
Oh, we are already.
I don't know.
off.
We are. It's only been 20 minutes.
De Niro
so.
said,
But,
I'd like to hear the 6-year-old views on teraflops versus SSTs.
Chris, put the headset on her.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Oh, she can't hear you.
So there was that, and then I also started Zombie Army Trilogy because I bought Zombie
That's a good
Army
one.
4, and I was like, I should probably play the other games because I have them. I haven't played it, so I was like, all right. So it's Sniper Elite with Nazi zombies, so it's
Nothing wrong with
fun.
that.
It's
Yeah,
fun co-op, Frankie. I mean, it's
Yeah.
the best played co-op. Yeah, it's
Probably. Yeah, there's just the formula for those games. I don't know why. Like they're all pretty much the same thing. Like it's a third-person shooter, but that bullet cam, just I don't know. Every time you do a shot that triggers it, I'm like, this is cool.
Even if you get the same shots, it's still like so satisfying.
Yeah.
See,
Excuse me.
And
they got the little helmets on and they just pop off. I'm like,
I used to love that. I used to love that with the Max Payne games. I never got tired of bullet time.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know?
Yeah, in Zombie Army Trilogy, you'll hear your gun go, vrr, vrr, and that last little ding, you see your helmet pop.
Yeah.
It's
Oh my
wow.
god, I love little touches like that. It's like in Dead Cells. If you have the shovel, every time you hit an enemy with it, just thing, thing.
Yeah.
I love it. But unrelated note, I don't know if anybody else does the limited run stuff. So I bought Bad North on the Switch, which is it's kind of like an isometric strategy game. But I guess limited run is changing their trading cards up. So now they have like a new line. I wonder if it's like a Series 2 or something. But
They look like those. They look like Score.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess they're doing a series 2 for their run, which is crazy because they have like 700 cards in the first set. So,
Dave, tell your coworker to come over here. We're gonna show that trailer in a couple minutes. So, well, that is very fantastic. So, yeah. So when I get on a game, if it's a really good game that I like, I don't stop until I'm done. And just in the nick of time to get to Streets of Rage 4, I beat Guacamelee 2. And let me tell you, that is one of those games that every time I had a chance to sneak down to the Xbox and fire it up to get a little farther, and I got far enough along in the game that I decided I'm going to get 100% in every area, and I did. I got 100%ed the whole game. I didn't get all the achievements because, and this is a little scummy in my personal opinion. There are achievements that are locked behind DLC. And you can tell what they are on the Xbox because they have a little plus next to them. And I'm sitting there going, why can't I find this stuff? And
hey, but you still can get your thousands, right? It's just above.
Yeah, because you know what? There's 1,340.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh, well, that's
But I just. They're there.
This is why I prefer trophies, because once you get the platinum trophy, even if they add DLC trophies, you still have the platinum trophy. You completed everything.
Right. Well, and this is what PlayStation does right, in my opinion. Like what you said, I mean, with the platinum, but also like how they display it. You have like your main game and then your DLC is like separate. And Xbox doesn't do that. It's like, there you go. Here's the list.
Throw it on the same list. It drives me nuts.
And they should make it so that if you don't have the DLC, you don't see those achievements. Personally.
Yeah. I don't mind. That's what Peter says. Like, I like the way PlayStation does it, because even if you don't have it, it's not factoring them into the ones that you already have. Like, it's a separate sub list in the list.
Yeah. Well, I remember before Mikey Barra left, I could have sworn he hinted at some changes. Looking to the achievement system, and maybe looking at adding. You get not achievements, but something about how many hours you play or so on. But then he's gone, and so who knows if that stuff is going to be added on the Series X or later on.
They already track playtime for most games, I think.
Oh, they do, but I thought they were going to give you some kind of recognition for it. I don't know.
I do remember that, though, because it was like rewarding you for playing games the way that you want to play them or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's Nintendo, who gives you nothing.
Hey, you know what?
Nothing.
John, I thought about you.
Give you nothing.
So there was a Stadia Connect this week, and they said a thing that I instantly was like, oh my God, John will lose his shit right now. There's Stadia achievements. They have an achievement system for Stadia.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. I mean, hey.
He can't buy it. It's not a console, Mike. It's only a controller.
Yeah, I can't do that. I've tried it, and I'm telling you, the feeling's not there, man. It's like Saturday Night Fever without
Frankie.
your dancing shoes.
Frankie, you did this on
NFL
purpose.
Sunday,
you know what?
NFL.
That's right. We're gonna start talking about sports because you did this on purpose.
But we've got plenty of information to talk about games that can be played on console.
Yeah, let's talk about sports entertainment.
And you can actually buy them.
Nice segue, John. Nice segue. So
thank you, Frankie. I love you. Tonight, I'm now known as Spicy John Place. Yes. One of our listeners, Chris from the UK, he likes to call me Spicy John Place. So
I forgot. I'm going to. That's how I'm going to introduce you from now on.
All right. I'm down with it. Yeah.
Spicy John Place.
Spicy.
So where are we starting?
So first, before we get anywhere else, Mr. Techno Fabulous, sir, what?
Yes, sir.
What is our product of the week? And Jago's here, so
wait.
Oh, this is for Jago.
Wait, What kind of Sam Adams you drinking?
Cold Sam Adams.
Well, that's it should be.
It's just I put the label on it beforehand. It's actually root beer.
Yeah, this is once a month. I think I'm going to do a fan requested product of the week, and Jago got in touch with me, and he said he would like to see a Kool-Aid commercial. So Jago, this is for you, buddy. Kool-Aid.
I'm gonna laugh if you get copyright strikes over this music.
I don't know if anybody's going to claim these.
Kool-Aid will. They're still around.
Now you can read about the adventures of Kool-Aid
The Adventures of Kool-Aid Man.
Holy crap! There's a comic book, a Marvel comic book. That means that Disney owns this. Therefore,
Now they own us.
There you go.
Mike, can you play that again? I couldn't hear because
You know what? I'm gonna try to. Damn! I couldn't
Now we're
hear
going
that
over midnight.
because
Frankie
Frankie was talking. You know.
Yeah,
What's up, Kyle?
I need to get my mojo going, and Frankie ruined it. Can you turn the volume up and play that again for our viewers?
Damn. Good lord. Hold on. Let me see if I can actually, because that was to be the problem is that was a very
old ass commercial.
Yeah. So hold on. Let me see if I can do.
I remember
I think
that
the audio mic is in Morse code.
Right here. Let me try it again.
Play a lot more than anyone.
Kids get hot more than anyone.
Kool-Aid is for kids' big thirst. Kool-Aid brand soft drink mix. Kool-Aid is for kids' big thirst. Now you can read about the adventures of Kool-Aid Man in the free Kool-Aid Man comic book. No purchase necessary. You can get these smashing adventures free by writing Kool-Aid Man comic book, Box 123, Bradley, Illinois, 60915.
Did everybody get that? Did everybody get that? Because I want to see if anybody writes to them and still can get that damn comic book.
I'm gonna try.
I only get to do this once a week, and damn it, I want to hear it.
So wait. So do they make Kool-Aid flavored ring pops?
Oh, I hope they do.
Yeah. Get them at your
Groovy, baby.
Get them at your local dispensary. Oh my! All right, so let's start with a game that I think a few of us have fired up and played, and I actually was able to. I was actually able to get a rando to join and play with me. It just enough to get enough footage. So as you guys, everybody knows, last night at midnight, unless you were able to get it from the Australian Xbox Live download. Thank you, Inferno.
Wait, they didn't ban it in Australia?
They did not.
Wow.
I know. Streets of Rage 4 finally came out, and it hit Game Pass, and it hit
Everything.
Hit stores. It hit everything.
PS4, Switch.
Yes. And
PC?
it's glorious.
Steam, right?
I think so. Here, I'll give you a little audio.
Love the intro in this game.
Oh yeah, Stinger's trying to Blaze.
Of course I am. I always play as Blaze. Well, no, I usually play as Blaze when I'm playing for real. Somebody jumped in and took Axel, and I'm like, perfect. Axel look at him. He looks like old man, like old rugged, you know.
He's got the beer belly.
Yeah, well,
Well,
Six-pack's been replaced by a six-pack.
I don't know though.
He
Look at his
actually-
arms though.
he looks like a Street Fighter V character though. They're like overly animated. I was playing as Axel earlier, and as big as he is, man, he can jump up and do that leg kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and she's she might
Who's
have
the
gotten
gal with the
some-
guitar? Who's the
Yeah, the guitar is pretty
character?
awesome though. I forgot her name.
Cherry.
Cherry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like vacuuming that
Is that
thing.
dude pissing on you?
What?
That guy looked like he was pissing on you.
Oh yeah, he like does this hipster kick thing.
Oh
That's what
yeah.
they all say.
Those millennials.
No.
They've got some new mechanics too. You got these super moves that you can use with your I know on the PlayStation controller it's your triangle button, but if you do your super move, it will take some of your health bar, which you can get back from
Yes.
repeatedly bashing your enemies. But it does take some of your health for a period of
Suplex
time.
City right there, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm playing as Floyd right now. I like Floyd's too.
Now, how did
Who's
how
Floyd?
did-
Is that a heavy dude?
That's the dude
Yeah.
who looks like Jax, except Jax
yeah.
if Jax ate Axel.
Right.
So I mean, this game is freaking. Jay said Axel looks like he's eating a bunch of full chickens. But man, this game, it's been a long time coming, of course, and for me, it didn't disappoint so far. It's for as animated for this trying to think this kind of cartoonish animation. I was surprised at how smooth this game plays. Now there's a little bit of because I'm playing an online game, there's a little bit of online lag.
Right.
But I got more. Don't worry, I have more videos, and I mean, just this is.
Well, it's cool. There's like a dozen unlockable and playable characters, Mike, and I think you can even once you unlock and play, you can. There's even their pixelated form you can play them in.
Oh, that's cool.
And so you got that, and I mean the music. They've got like some really award-winning musicians doing the music for this. Game's pretty awesome.
The game is awesome.
I like how open every box says that different countries have different food. So there's poutine
if you get it up
Yes.
in Canada.
for the Canadians. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, you can change your icons, like what you want your 2 food items to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see if I got. Let me see. Let me find that video.
Oh, now there's the gal with the whips. That's your ring
Oh,
pop
yeah.
gal. Yeah. Yeah, I'm liking it already.
All right, hold on, because I think I do a super move here. At some point, the music too. Like I said, here I'll turn the music back on for a minute.
I don't know what his last name is, but it's the guy who did the music for like Greedfall, basically like all the Spiders games and Focus stuff. I think he did the music for A Plague Tale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's on his Bandcamp soundtrack. It's $10.
Sherry
Well, I
does
like
the
it.
electric boogaloo slide.
Up there at the top in the center where it's tallying your score, where it says like 2711. And you'll get a message on the screen when you approach 5,000, extra life.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Your new character,
So I want to thank Moon 2006 on Xbox for just jumping in and just helping me run through this level. There's
there we
that super
go.
move.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just beat the shit out of her.
It's like striking a pose.
And the guitar lady is cool too, and she does
Yeah.
a little riff like, and everybody gets
Right.
electrocuted.
Yeah.
Cuted.
Right.
It's really nice.
What's frustrating though, those little knives that they'll throw, it never fails. You go to pick up a knife and you just know, you're like, well, they're like 2 or 3 steps away, but you got to hurry because by the time you bend down to pick up the knife and you want to throw it, the enemy's like on you real quick. So, then you drop it again and you try to pick it up and it just rinse and repeat, But, oh yeah.
All right, let's see. I do have video of Cherry. I just have to. No, that's not it. Hang on.
Yeah, she's my guitar swinging seductress. She grabs that guitar by the neck and.
There we go.
There
There she is.
She's got that Call of Duty bobble to her. Yeah, right before the match starts.
Odd. I mean, so this was the work of 3 different studios, which makes this even more impressive.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you had. Let's see. You had, and I can never say it right. Dotemu.
I'd say Dotem.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I
I
don't
thought
know.
it was just .emu.
Maybe it's .emu.
Oh, okay.
It might be.
Emu.
Simple.
Like an emu, like the llama type. So .emu, Lizard Cube, and Guard Crush games all had a hand in this. And I mean, that's what came out of this was just a damn good game.
Oh yeah.
So, and so we'll get a chance here to see Cherry in action.
There we are, level 2, Mike. 12 unique stages in this game. Yeah.
Yeah. Check out the soundtrack.
There's that. Yeah, there goes. Boing.
Yep.
Boing.
So you have the composers, Olivier Deverer and Yuzo Koshiro actually put some tracks in here. And Motohiro Kawashima, Yoko Shimanura, Kiji Yamagishi, and a bunch of other people. So there is, there's a ton of great music in here. And there you go. She jumps on his head and just starts punching. So,
They've got some neat moves too. You can get in close on them, and you've got some grab moves where you can throw them, and you can also like pole vault yourself over them.
Yes.
To flip to get on the other side of them, which is pretty cool.
So if you remember Adam Hunter from he was playable in the first Streets of Rage game. Cherry is his daughter.
Yeah.
I think I got an achievement there for breaking my first hold.
Man, I tell you, even the video, as good as it is, Mike, it doesn't do it justice, man. When you play it on your console and you turn it on, man, the colors are vibrant.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just
crystal clear.
It's very artistic. I mean, and the game's pretty fluid,
I was actually surprised how fluid the game was. I was pretty impressed. I was expecting. I don't know if I was expecting it to be that smooth playing.
Well, all these beat 'em up games, no matter what, it's just like Double Dragon, Final Fight, all these type games. They've always got that one, sometimes it's your positioning when you're punching and kicking, and the enemy always gets in these little cheap punches and kicks that always tick you
Right.
off. But I'm glad that remains the same because it wouldn't have the feel of the side scrollers,
Now, you hear that?
Yeah. Oh, there's your little bag of gold, yeah.
Yeah. But no, you hear the music? That, my friends, is the retro soundtrack from the first Streets of Rage. That is from the Genesis version of Streets of Rage. So you can, on the fly, switch back and forth between a regular soundtrack and the retro soundtrack from the original game.
That's neat.
Yes. So.
But you can.
Well, go ahead, Peter. So you said You said something interesting earlier tonight, before the show. And...
Before the show.
Yeah.
I mean, I played it just a little bit, but I felt that the game. What's that one called? I forgot. I always forget the name.
Raging Justice.
Raging Justice. I felt that Raging Justice played better. I also felt it looked better, and yeah, I think I had more fun playing that one.
Okay. Was there anything particular in the gameplay that you saw? I mean,
It felt smoother, but maybe that's just me. I don't know.
To be fair, you also don't have like the nostalgia for Streets of Rage since you didn't have a Genesis.
That is true.
So I think that also is playing a big part in why people love this game.
Yeah, that could be. I mean, It's a good possibility.
Well, and it's not, it's not a, that's not necessarily. Here, I'll tell you what. Do I have?
There's that flip over move. I just love it.
I
man.
love that move. Yeah, on the
There.
Genesis.
John's like, she can flip over me any day.
On the on the
I just
Genesis.
really dig that, man. Those red shorts, those tall boots,
Yeah.
the stilettos, and hopping all over the place.
Well, and she apparently has had some work done since the third game. So
oh yeah,
got a little plastic surgery. You
that's
know.
DLC content. Yeah.
I unfortunately do not have any Raging Justice videos. We weren't really doing grabbing those at the time, but man, still though, the one thing this does have that Raging Justice does not yet is online co-op. And so
Yes.
I'm hoping that our friends over at Making Games is gonna do that, because I would like to see that, to be honest with you.
Hmm. Yeah, that would make Raging Justice perfect.
Indeed. So, all right. So that is Streets of Rage 4.
Hey, before you move on,
Yes.
so if you want a physical version, Limited Run is doing them for the PS4 and the Switch. So they're open pre-orders, and I think they end on the 10th or 11th. So if you want a physical version, they actually have it comes in like a Sega Genesis case, and it has a steel book. I think it's like $60 if you want to buy that version, but I think the standard's $40 or whatever, because they usually add 15 or whatever to the digital price. So
You know, Frankie, I might get a copy now, man. I get me a physical copy, and I can hug it and kiss it and love on
yeah,
it.
exactly.
I'm telling you.
You need it.
Oh my God.
I am a
think they
collector.
also-
I do like collecting, though. I mean, I might.
I know you do.
That's not bad. I
No.
might get one of them.
No. It's not bad at all. If you want to, you want to stroke and enjoy your, go ahead.
You should see my amiibo collection, man. It's really like, oh yeah, it's getting up
Nice.
there. Splatoon characters and everything. Oh yeah.
Along with
my
your ring
goodness.
pop collection, right?
Well, your ring rock connection. So.
That's what he meant.
Kyle says you can't sleep with a digital copy.
There's
But you
something
can put the
magical though
console
when
in
you
the bed.
hover those amiibos over your controller, and you unlock something. It's just I don't know what it is.
How do you do?
Not-
How do you hover?
You just kind of hover it over your controller, and it, bloop, unlocks, outfits and all kinds of things.
Can you do that sound effect again?
Just
See,
like that.
Yeah, now said you can't sleep with the digital copy, but you can in VR. So
You
Right.
can, sure.
That's
Well, you
right.
could just put it on
Actually,
a
you
hard
can
drive.
put all your digital copies underneath your pillow. And do that with physical.
Oh my!
My God, that's the VR game. VR video game collecting.
Well,
Yeah.
get some
It's
time
just-
tonight.
and
I
it's
know we
just-
got a lot of topics, but I would love to talk about that Sharknado VR because I love those Sharknado movies.
Did you?
And I know for $8 or $9 you can get Sharknado VR. And I mean, if I can be in VR, if I can be in there with Ian Ziering, fighting sharks and stuff, and I mean, there's not what's better than that.
By fighting sharks, they have gloves.
Oh,
Oh
Look,
my
that
God!
game, for its price point, I'm not expecting anything.
You shouldn't.
those sharks and Sharknado too. I mean, they're that whole movie's just a big spoof, but they're
Yes.
fake as hell. And it reminds me about that 1970s Batman series, Adam West and Batman's on the bat helicopter, and the little rubber shark. They've wedged the prop guy or whatever. They've got the shark wedged in between the rope ladder and his leg to hold it there, and you can tell it's so fake, And he pulls out the shark repellent. Robin, if I could just reach my bat utility belt, and sprays the shark, and it's
Oh, my
hilarious.
God.
Corny, but good. Yeah.
Dave Dahl's not happy with you right now.
Yeah,
I don't think you like
it
this.
was the
Sharknadoes.
60s.
It wasn't 60s, Dave. I don't think it was. I've got the whole Blu-ray.
John is old, but not that old.
Yeah.
No.
Let me check. I think Dave's wrong. Hang on a second.
No,
You got
wait, he's
Saddam
right.
Austin
That year
said
looks
something
right. All right, quick. Move on. Next
Yes.
topic.
All right, next topic. All right. So we have a new We had a new announcement this morning,
Yeah,
and that is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Did I spell that right? Valhalla. I did spell it right. Go me.
Take
What?
out an L.
No. I'm gonna put a Y in it.
Spell. There you go. Perfect. It's silent.
Silent Y. All right, and we have the cinematic world premiere trailer that came out on YouTube this morning, and here it is. Let me
Great trailer.
yeah, and I'll turn on the audio so that you guys can hear it as well. And this is the new Valhalla trailer.
They are heartless. Godless barbarians. They murder and kill blindly. They scar the lands of England. Lands they will never defend, never love. The time has come to speak to them in a language they will understand.
Seal.
I could do that.
Oh, somebody tell me. Answer if you can. Oh, somebody tell me.
Shield!
What is the soul of
They knew they were coming.
Get him, Dave.
Strike three.
You've been playing.
So it looks to me like they are just deciding to go a whole different direction with this series.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at this guy right here. Looks like he reminds me of the mountain in Game of Thrones.
This is the part that I like.
No, there was not an arrow to the knee.
Oh, look. You think you got me? This is where he pulls an Ed Boon.
Shortest game ever. Thank you for your 60 bucks.
That right there, isn't that Assassin's Creed?
Yes.
Weapon?
That is an
Yes.
Assassin's Creed
No,
weapon.
and
That's his blade. That's his hidden blade.
I was saying that
Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
doesn't look
Available
Assassin's Creed.
holiday
I'm like, I'm
And,
sorry.
but he isn't very smart, so.
Yeah, that's the hidden blade. Yeah.
They were showing hints of like the guy at the tree, and then you saw the weapon. That's a classic Assassin's Creed weapon. throughout the series, right? I mean,
Looks like Microsoft's
Yeah.
got the marketing for this game.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
I'd have to say, just from looking at the trailer, unless that's just some big theatrical trailer, I mean, it definitely looks like this game may be a lot different than previous Assassin's
Oh, that's a
Creeds.
theatrical. I mean, they
Yeah.
specifically said this is a cinematic trailer.
But it just seems it's a pretty long trailer. I don't remember the other Assassin's Creed having like, this game may have a different whole feeling to it. You know, I don't know.
Well, okay. So according to Ubisoft, here's the explanation. So I'm going to read
I hope
this
it's
off
good,
to you.
Mike, because I ain't no Valhalla Batgirl. That's
Mute him.
sorry, that's a bad
Mute
joke.
him. Mute him.
Dora with the
I ain't no
electric
Valhalla
Stop
Batgirl.
laughing. Don't encourage him.
I ain't no Valhalla Batgirl. All right, sorry.
I need to take a drink. Hold on.
There you go.
Another thing about it's kind of ties in a little bit with Microsoft's announcement that believe it's May 15th they will show.
The 7th. Next
The 7th?
week. Yes.
There you go,
They will.
Peter. Jeez.
Yeah, sorry.
We are going to have a busy ass show
Get it right.
next week.
Yeah, so they be showing some third-party games on the Series X, and Assassin's Creed is one of them.
So we're going to get
We'll see
gameplay?
some actual
Yeah,
gameplay
they did mention
on
that.
Series X.
All right.
They better
So
show
why
Watch
is it
Dogs
just
Legion.
why is it just third-party games?
They also
so they
said
the
that
answer to
the
that.
other ones will be during the summer months.
Yeah, for the June. That's more. The others they said they're still working on the first party stuff and getting ready for the summer event.
It's because Xbox doesn't have games. Don't you read Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh,
So probably in June. We'll probably get something in June
Well,
on that.
the Assassin's Creed games always look better than quite a few first-party games.
Well, they need to. All right. Well, that's a. Well, next week we're gonna get to see a whole bunch of stuff, and then we'll
Yeah.
we'll go. It's you gotta. I don't know. The initiative. I mean, more. How many more developers are they gonna pilfer? By the way.
Oh yeah, from Naughty Dog, like
Yes.
a ton.
Which we're gonna talk. We'll talk about that later. I'm saving that for last because I want to get through all the positive game talk first. Because I know John and I do too. I know we got some serious thoughts about that whole thing, but but not yet. Right now we're talking about the good games. We're talking fun and stuff. So Assassin's Creed Valhalla, according to Ubisoft, takes place towards the end of the 9th century, a time when Norse tribes were leaving their home in Scandinavia and sailing to the collection of fractured kingdoms known as the Anglo-Saxon England. It is here during this age of transition that you'll take on the role of Eivor, E-I-V-O-R, and lead your people to a new land in search of a new home. As you embark on Valhalla's epic Viking journey, you'll lead deadly raiding parties, fight in massive battles, and build up a prosperous settlement, all within the historical backdrop of 9th century England. So, you know, it is possible that we're not going to get, you know, I don't see that guy jumping up on top of buildings and jumping from rooftop to rooftop. But that doesn't
Right.
necessarily mean that this guy can't be an assassin.
Right.
Yeah.
That may be like a clip toward the end, you know, or some big battle in between or something, or explaining how it got started, you know.
Right.
He does have the hidden blade, so I'm sure that Assassin's Creed is always known for the hidden blade and, you know, the agility, jumping off rooftops and hanging from things. And
So, on that note, I'm going to mention that Peter, we were talking a little bit about this before the show, but, you know, Peter, you were saying like your favorite is Black Flag, which
Yeah, Black Flags is.
that's the
one
one
of
that
my
has a
top-
lot of sailing stuff in it, right? That's
Yeah, but it
Or
didn't
based around
seem as
pirates.
big as like Origins or Odyssey. It's like, you know, that
Yeah.
sailing seems kind of boring, and with Black Flag was always exciting.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if they're maybe going to go back to the well for this one and kind of maybe do a lot more with, ship battles.
I tell you, Black Flag, Frankie, I think Black Flag is maybe in my top 3 or 4. My favorite one was Assassin's Creed 2. And I just love Ezio. The Assassin's Creed 2, it was open world, but it had the perfect combination of open world plus the storyline. The quests were really good.
Except for the feathers.
I'm noticing in these latest Assassin's Creed, man, there's just like 10 million icons on the screen, and it's so open world, which there's nothing wrong with that. But it seems like the quests are more like, I don't want to say fetch quests, but they just don't have the same feeling. It's almost like they've stretched the game so much to expand it, but it's missing that storyline. So
because you have less animus,
yes,
which is a good thing, because that bothered me, because it's kind of like breaks your whole gameplay, in my opinion.
Well, but that was the original. That was the whole original point. Well, the animus was a central piece, and they've gotten away from that in lieu of. If I remember correctly, at least in Origins, when you come out of the Animus, you really can't do much. You can check some email.
I mean, that's just annoying.
Walk around, and
do you think of us annoying?
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, it served no, like the Animus in the first game, and even someone in the second game. It served a purpose of the story.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, it sets the stage for this whole thing. Why are you the assassin, and why is it going to repeat with multiple games and assassins, etc.
And yeah.
Well, these games are based so much on history. Like, I'm a huge history buff, and a lot of television. My wife, she don't like half the stuff I watch, but I watch tons of the History Channel, and I can't get enough of some of the stuff they have on there. But these games are great at storytelling and talking about history, and sometimes you can actually learn about past civilizations and things from playing these games. And the old Assassin's Creeds were very big on making sure you understood some of that history. Even with the villains, they'd have a biography about them, pop up. But like I said, I don't mind it being open world as long as the quests are kind of like meaningful. It's not like we'll go across the entire map, get an apple, and take it back to Bobby Sue. There needs to be some meat in the storyline.
And that's, I felt that was missing out of, like, I played a lot of Origins, but there came a point to where I was just done with just walking around and doing that and fetching stuff, or going in and, oh my goodness, this person's committing a crime, let me go find him.
Right.
I'm with you on that.
Frankie's smiling, yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe they, the last two, maybe they've heard some of that criticism, and maybe this one will have, be different somewhat. I'm sure it's going to be similar to both Origins and Odyssey in the scope and the scale of the game, but like Annihilator, people are worried that maybe it's not like Assassin's Creed. Maybe you're not going to go running around. I think you are. I think, as this character is probably going to infiltrate some of the enemies' camps, and sneaking around.
Well, I agree with you, Chris.
Taking care of your camp. Yeah.
One thing we got to be careful of, and we're going to talk about that topic later in the show with The Last of Us. We don't want to take what little tidbits we see and make judgments on the game too early.
I mean, it's just a introduction trailer. You don't know what kind of gameplay.
Well,
like you were saying about some big battle. Maybe they wanted to show that you're going to have some big battle moments in the game.
Yes, which they say you're going to.
And I think will be cool. I mean, but as long as you have some of the traditional Assassin's Creed, missions where you are sneaking around.
Yes.
It almost looks like this could be a full-blown, if it wasn't an Assassin's Creed game, just from watching that trailer, it almost looks like something like this could be a full-blown RPG. Just like The Witcher or something. It looks like it could be, even though it's Assassin. It looks like it could be something different.
Now. Yeah. Like, that's kind of what those games have evolved into.
Well, and that's okay. I mean,
But The Witcher 3 had good storylines, though. like even in that game, whether you like the combat or not, the missions were there. There was nothing better as far as an
Yeah.
RPG. They had a lot of story to it.
Yeah.
You know, right? Assassin's Creed. I get that Assassin's Creed was all about running across the rooftops and jumping down on people and stuff like that. I don't necessarily need that as much because even some of that can be tedious as you're trying to run across the land. I could take a
Do you remember those little feathers, Michael?
Yep.
And those music notes you had to run after and catch?
Yep. Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, the shanties. Yeah.
The shanties,
Yep.
yeah.
But during the game, during Assassin's Creed, you understood, as you were saying, John, there was a story, and the story was the Assassins versus the Templars, and you learned what like by the time I was into the third game, I knew what a Templar was. I actually knew what the actual Templars were in real life or in real history from playing those games. I'm not learning. Again, the Origins and watching my son play Odyssey. I know, Peter, you loved Odyssey. And I'm sure I will love the gameplay and all, but I mean, John's right. The games are so big that you lose that story, and that because you're just going across, like in Origins, you're just going across the entire Middle East, and there's really nothing but side. It's all side story. It's all side story. I'm hoping that this is the way they're setting this up is something different. You're close knit to the group. This is one tribe, and you're making your way across and trying to, there's settlements and stuff like that, and I'm hoping that it's a little smaller world with a much bigger story. I'll be happy with that. I don't need the jumping across the rooftops and stuff if I can just get a nice story.
Right.
I'll take this though. I mean, the guy's this is not like a big bumbling, this isn't Gimli from Lord of the Rings here. The guy looks like he's got some potential skills. Now, holiday 2020. So we're looking at. Well, it's probably going to
be crowded in the holidays.
Yeah.
Yes, it will be.
So Peter pointed this out earlier, but I guess if you buy the Xbox version, this is like Cyberpunk. When the X version's available, if you're playing on that, you'll be playing that version.
Right. Because of smart delivery.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, now, has anybody heard?
Nobody noticed that on the PlayStation.
They haven't said anything about any of that.
I haven't heard a thing. I don't know.
Yeah, so we don't know.
You gotta think, though.
I can't imagine.
They have to. I mean, they can't stay behind.
No.
Yeah, I can't imagine it not being available for both. I could see a.
No, it'll be on the PS5, but if you buy it for the PS4, will you still be able to use that same copy and play it on the PS5 without having to buy it again?
They love selling you the same game twice. So I would be shocked if they do like the same thing that Microsoft is doing.
I can't imagine that though. I mean, that is a potential the PR backlash from that.
Bad optics.
I can't imagine. I get. Look, guys, I get that we hear these things about Sony, and we talked about this last week and sort of the week before. We know Sony's making some weird moves and things like that, but there are some things that I would hope someone at Sony steps over to Jim Ryan and says, "Hey, Jim, listen. Do you see what they're doing? Yeah, we need to do that."
Yeah, cross-buy is
it's a dead genre. I mean,
yeah.
It's you have to do it, especially if you're
pro consumer,
Yeah, but if your competition is doing it, that is.
I mean, Sony has done it before. Like they've done it between the PS3, the Vita, then some of the earlier, a lot of the earlier indies were PS4, PS3, Vita cross-buy. But
yeah,
like in terms of this, like you're talking about a new console that Sony isn't necessarily doing the same thing Microsoft is doing with, back compat. So Microsoft is basically being like, okay, you have this new console. It doesn't make sense to buy the same game again to play it on your new console. Because in theory, if you're buying a new console, you're getting rid of your old one, in theory. Which obviously none of us are doing because we all hoard consoles because we're dumb. But
Hey,
gamers.
Stop, Frankie. Frankie, stop it. Stop it.
What? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm an idiot. I have all these damn
you're
consoles
not an
sitting
idiot.
here.
I love you, buddy. But
But no, I mean, look. Sony will sell you the same. They sold The Last of Us remastered maybe a year after the the original PS3 version came out. Like they're notorious for a $60 game versus a $10, $15 indie game is kind of a different story. Like that's going to be cutting into their margins on that new console, which is going to affect them a lot more than it's going to affect Microsoft.
I don't know. I agree in that principle, but this would be just I'm just having trouble seeing this from a PR perspective. I mean, maybe the consumer base doesn't care. I don't know, but I can't. I would hope that when it all comes out. Now here's the interesting thing to do. I got this off of Ubisoft's website, so I didn't get this off of Xbox's website. And I know it's coming out for the PS4, and hopefully PS5, but it would be
coming up for PS5.
Okay.
Yeah.
The question of the no cross-buy though.
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's already been stated
Gennaro and I
for
agree. I just can't.
Xbox.
Yeah. I can't think of a reason for them to do it this way. Now, maybe there is a possibility, and I'll bring this possibility up because I kind of keep reading about it, and I don't know how proprietary this is. Maybe the problem is that Sony doesn't have the mechanism to do it, but I would think that you could just tie it to a license. See, Microsoft.
That's what they do now.
Yeah.
Right, Microsoft.
Well, yeah, but not if you get it on a disc, though.
Free.
True.
Ooh, that is a good.
Because I know with Xbox, if you have like,
well, yeah, I
So
guess
with Xbox has
the other disc in it.
Right.
I guess
well,
they can do it at PlayStation.
they
the same way.
use the disc to verify that you own the game, but it downloads the game.
yes.
and it grabs the right, and it grabs the
Xbox
right,
Live.
right, and so it grabs the right.
The right files.
So this is what smart delivery is going to be, and this is kind of what the Xbox enhanced games do. Is if you put an Xbox One game in an enhanced system that's got 4K, it knows to go get the 4K version of the game. Whereas if you put it in a base console, it knows to get the base copy of the game. Smart delivery is the same thing for here. It knows what console you're using, and it just gets the right version of the game for it. Yeah. I hope Sony's working on something like that.
That's why I bring this up though, Dave. It's because like if you're gonna buy this game and you're looking to buy a new console as well, going based on what I understand of how the Xbox thing is working, if I buy this game for whatever reason the Series X isn't out yet, or I decide to wait a couple weeks to get a Series X because I can't get one right away, if I start playing it on my Xbox One X, when I do get my Series X and start playing and I want to play Assassin's Creed on there, I don't have to buy another version of the game. Like,
right.
In theory, I should be able to continue playing from my save point as the Series X version of the game. Like, my question is Sony going to do that same thing, or are they just going to be like, no, sorry, separate system, separate purchase? You know, that's what I'm worried is going to happen.
Well, hopefully we're going to find out soon. I mean, they got to start talking about this stuff. I mean, the killer thing is that when we're talking about this game, Microsoft has already said This game and Cyberpunk will be that. And Sony isn't saying a word. And this goes to...
It's kind of amazing that Sony has been so quiet with stuff.
And we
and
talked
they let
about
people,
it last week.
I mean, we talk about it and have people a narrative. The same thing as Microsoft 2013.
Yes.
I mean, it's like, in the end, they probably, everything will just be fine and they have fantastic games. But it's like they made a 180-degree turn.
It's a new leadership.
Yep.
Man.
They definitely, that's what I talked about on the Bitcast a couple weeks ago. They have the difference in leadership between the two companies from 2013 to today is stark.
It's like they learned from each other, except one learned
Now, there could be a case of marketing rights because Xbox has marketing rights on Cyberpunk and Valhalla, so maybe it's something to where we want this to be announced with our marketing rights.
They could have said like, our third party,
I think what Whitty said was right. Whitty made a comment. I did read somewhere that there was going to be a next-gen version of Cyberpunk. It wasn't going to come out. It was later on top of the smart delivery thing.
Yeah.
I could have swore there was going to be a separate... in fact, it's probably about 3 weeks ago, I'm almost positive I read an article on them that there would be a more enhanced version later on.
Right.
Yeah.
Enhanced version for what?
Cyberpunk. For Xbox.
Yeah.
For the Series X, like they confirmed it next gen.
But you're gonna get it. Right. But you're gonna get it as part of, because you own it, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So if you get, because obviously Cyberpunk is gonna come out before the Series X,
right?
Unless they're gonna release a Series X in September.
Nah, I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, but I mean, again, that'll be cool because that game is gonna be massive. So you're probably going to be well into that game when the Series X comes out, and then you're going to be upset and be like, wow, I should start over because this looks so much better.
All right. Let's see. So I want to shift gears a little bit. I'm not ready to get into our main topic because I still want to talk some games. I know you guys, you're frozen, by the way, Chris. I thought you were just kind of...
Oh, okay. Is he?
Yeah.
He is.
So you guys have...
He's just not blinked the past 20 minutes.
Well, yeah, usually he takes his hand on his beard and goes like this.
It's because I was sucking on a ring pop. I don't want y'all to see it.
Oh, wow.
That's exactly why you should have it on.
Especially with a beard, gets nice and...
Yeah.
He ain't no Valhalla Batgirl.
Oh, my God. You went back to the well. Oh. All right, so we have some... so I'm going to call this segment for this week, just because we're gonna start. For those of you who have not been here, who weren't here even like last year stuff, and the folks in the chat room, you guys are awesome, and a lot of you are new. We used to do segments, and we're gonna try to get back to doing segments to where even on weeks when there's not a lot of news, we're gonna talk about games. We're gonna talk about our favorite games, the stuff that we're playing, the stuff that that are you can find cheap in the stores. So for example, we're gonna pick some games that we like this week and talk about them. Frankie is gonna do a pick of the week from what's on sale on PSN and Xbox Live. Once a month when we do our MPDs, Peter's gonna do the MPD segment. Chris has talked about doing some Game Pass stuff, and I might bring some retro to the forefront because we don't talk enough about retro, and I might do that. Maybe a weekly Amico segment or something, but we'll start talking about some retro stuff.
You know what I was thinking was when the Amico comes out.
What's up, Supersonic?
We've heard Tommy say, when games come out, it's going to be one game at a time. Like, I feel like we should highlight that game when it comes out.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, you know what? Real quick before we get to what we're playing in quarantine, let me. There is another game. So, and Daredevil Dave Dahl reminded me of it. So as we talked about last week, WWE and 2K decided to whack WWE 2K21, and they're gonna give Visual Concepts a year off to kind of refresh and regroup. And in the meantime, 2K is going to bring out a new type of game that kind of looks like the mix between WWE and NFL Blitz.
Right.
So it's going to be called WWE Battlegrounds
by Saber Interactive.
Yeah.
What do they call the sports ones? The playgrounds?
Ukes did go away.
Yeah, I don't know if Ukes is even. I don't know if they're even around anymore.
I thought 2K20 was the first all Visual Concepts WWE game.
I thought so too, but no, Ukes is still around. So
they still exist, but I don't think they're 2K is not working with them anymore.
No, because the last 2K game was 2K19, and then in 2019 they brought out Earth Defense Force, Iron Rain. So.
Well, Patrick Gilmore, the executive producer, he's got like 25 years of experience with games and stuff, and he helped out with 2013 Killer Instinct. He worked on Medal of Honor. What else did he do? Oh, Disney's Aladdin on the Sega Genesis. So the guy behind this, he's had his hand in a few things,
So, yeah. So here's how they're setting this up. So this is directly from the 2K WWE site.
Now those women look like midgets, though. I don't know what it is, man.
I think they might all do. I want to see the alligator eat.
John Cena? You can't because you can't see him.
So Daredevil Dave Dahl, do you want to be in this game? So this is it's interesting because this is I find this an opening for Retromania because this is gonna be a different game. So here's the skinny on this according to WWE's the 2K WWE side. Whether you're a casual gamer learning the ropes or a passionate fan ready for all the action, WWE 2K Battlegrounds provides another way to enjoy WWE video game action. The game is being developed, as John said, by Saber Interactive, the studio behind NBA 2K Playgrounds, who have been hard at work on WWE 2K Battlegrounds and are excited to let you smell what they're cooking. WWE 2K Battlegrounds is scheduled to launch this fall, and we look forward to sharing more information about the game in the coming months. Now here, they also said this. Next, we want to address WWE 2K20. We heard and appreciate your feedback, continue to listen to you closely. Since launch, we've released 5 title updates addressing hundreds of reported concerns, and have released 4 WWE 2K20 originals DLC expansions to build on and improve the experience. We've also heard your request to keep the WWE 2K19 servers running, and they will remain active for the time being. All that being said, we hear you and we want to know more. We know you want more from the franchise. So here's what we're going to do. We are applying what we learned to the next WWE 2K simulation game with a renewed focus on quality and fun. As part of that commitment, we are extending the production timeline and will not be releasing a WWE 2K simulation game in 2020.
Right.
We want to ensure that the development team at Visual Concepts can create a great game that will entertain grizzled WWE 2K veterans as well as newcomers who want to climb through the ropes and step into the ring for the first time. We've recruited Patrick Gilmore, as Frankie pointed out, to serve as our new executive producer and will lead these efforts at Visual Concepts. Was it who named off the games that he did?
I did.
Okay.
He was
Disney's Aladdin, Killer Instinct, Medal of Honor, and most recently Amazon's New World. He will be overseeing 2K development. And so we don't know a whole lot more about this game other than it's going to be a mix of, so I said NFL Blitz, but NBA Playgrounds, which, as you guys know, is kind of a playoff on, if you guys remember, the EA Big series,
Right.
which was NFL.
Sports ball.
Yep, they had an NFL, they had a FIFA, it was the Street series. So you had NFL Street, NBA Street, and FIFA Street. And I don't know if I still where it is, but I've got one of my tchotchkes is a NBA an NFL Street football that I got from EA.
I talked to Daredevil Dave Dahl. We were doing some direct messaging earlier, and Dave was asking me about this game, and it kind of, I don't know, the female characters, they look a little awkward. Like if you look at The Rock in that, I mean, he looks a little cartoony, but when you look at the female but you look at the female, there's a huge disparity between the female wrestlers. And Dave asked me what I thought about this game, and I said, well, I'm kind of old school, man. Just give me a classic chair or something to hit somebody with. These chicks look like midgets from NBA Jam, like she's on fire, so I don't look at that. Yeah. I mean, this game, it's cute and it might be kind of fun, but I don't know. I'm kind of more of a simulation guy. So for me, I mean, this might be fun to play, but it's definitely, I don't know. It's definitely maybe a little much for me, maybe. I don't know, just from looking at it. I don't know.
This looks exactly like what I wanted.
Oh, yeah. I know you were pining for a action game.
Yeah, I just need a new arcade wrestling game.
Nero said, is this a mobile game? Supersonic says, 2K hears us, they just never listen.
That's
true.
And
of course, Daredevil is still pining to be in Retromania.
There was an article in this game, and I forget who wrote it today. I was surfing the net, and it was mentioning this game. It says WWE 2K Battlegrounds, the wrestling game that the fans didn't want. And I started reading it, but I mean, it may be a fun game to play, but I don't know, man. It just seems like one of those. It could be a fun party game, maybe if you played with some friends or something.
You remember Crush Hour?
Yes.
Did you like that game?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I like a little bit of everything, but I don't know if this one doesn't look like, I don't know if it's going to grab my attention span for very long, considering everything else that's going to be out, and especially with the Amico games,
We've got an Xbot 448 sighting. What's going on? Ah, man.
Hey, what's up, Xbot?
Welcome, brother. It's been way too long. Hopefully you are good. Man. Now. So,
John, what the hell?
What did you just do?
I've got my mini refrigerator up here. I keep all my alcohol in, and I just
is it a Call of Duty Black Ops 3 fridge?
It could be.
Or the Fallout. Yeah. Didn't Fallout have a fridge too?
I might show it next show.
Thanks, Sonic. So he came in on Sonic's retweet. So yeah, man. Former fellow Tick affiliates. So Xbox got the Next Podcast, which is over at his channel, and I like the Next Podcast. I listen to it. I listen to it while I'm at work. I don't always get to check it live, but Xbox good people.
Xbox always brings the energy.
He does, man. He does, and I'll tell you, I miss playing Halo 5 with him. So we had a lot of fun when Big Team Game came out, Big Team Battle when BTB came out. We had a lot of fun playing.
Maybe soon we can play Halo 6.
Very soon.
Like I said, I was reading the comments, Mike, and someone had posted that there's still space for a game like this, and so don't let any of us. We're just giving our own opinions on these games.
Well, sure.
We're not telling anybody don't buy it or do buy it. The only thing I can do is look at a game or play a game and tell you what I think about it. But don't take my word as gospel. That's just my opinion. If you're out there and this game looks like it's interesting to you, buy it, and it's probably a great game. It's we just all have different opinions, so we're not trying to tell you to buy it or to not buy it.
That's right. Don't
especially from a gamer that's wears ring pops.
Yeah, we're just giving our opinions. Yeah,
That's right.
That's right, Chris.
It's spicy. Spicy
come
John.
on.
Spicy John Place has got, I ain't no Valhalla back, girl.
Oh, my God.
All night long.
Oh, God. Oh.
That's
All
why
right.
there's no Assassin's Creed in the game.
Yeah, no, right? All right, so let's get to some stuff let's get to some other fun stuff before we get to because we still have our main thing to talk to. So, Peter.
Yeah.
Talk to us about SnowRunners.
SnowRunner. Yeah, it's a new game that came out this week. It's by Saber Interactive. It's like an open world, dangerous territory where you drive around in powerful vehicles and you conquer their open environment. So they have different areas. One of them is Michigan. The other one is like Alaska, and then there's another place like in Russia, and you have like certain objectives where you have to like repair stuff like bridges that are broken. So you have to get supplies in your trucks, going through those environments, and environments are rough, like thick mud, snow, steep hills, trees. You have like winches on your vehicle in case you get stuck. You can, try to winch you forward or backward or get yourself off your roof. And there's also some co-op components, so you can play that with your friends, which is awesome. I've been playing a lot with Crazy One in that game. And yeah, I mean, the cars drive super slow because, you're stuck in the mud, stuck in the slush. And but it's an oddly satisfying game.
Peter and I talked before the show, and this game really interests me because to me, just from the mechanics of it, you're doing things, you're, improving things, different vehicles.
Yeah,
it's like Death Stranding meets Ice Road Truckers. It kind of
something like that.
I mean, you're doing, you've got all these tasks, you're delivering things, you're building. So, I mean, it kind of has that. I think I could get lost in this game for a few hours.
Yeah.
So,
what was that tree you posted
it's
a
like,
picture of?
You play the game and all of a sudden you look at your watch and it's like, oh, snap, I've been
Right.
playing this for 3 hours already.
so is this though like fetch questing in a truck? I mean, what's the
It's not really fetch questing. I mean, there are certain contracts that you can do, certain environmental tasks that you can do, like bridges that are blown over, and you have to repair, so then you can get your big rigs over it a little easier. There are vehicles that are submerged that you can rescue and add to your own arsenal, or you can sell them for more money that you can use to buy new vehicles or vehicle upgrades.
Gotcha.
And Fords, Chevrolets, Freightliners.
The Supersonic is
Each
saying
particular country, you can buy their local vehicles. Like in Russia, you can buy a bunch of those Russian vehicles that you cannot buy, obviously, in the USA.
So is it Mud Runners with snow? Because that's what Supersonic Station wants to know.
Kind of like, it's Mud Runners with snow. The game is upgraded. It's a little more visual pleasing, and it seems like you have more. With those contracts, you seem like more purpose in the game than Mud Runners.
What happens if you run out of gas, Peter? What happens
you run
if
out of gas? You're SOL. Or so when that happens, you can either have your vehicle rescued and basically magically it will appear back in your garage, or you can send some other vehicles to help you, or your friends, and basically if they have a full tank, they can spare you some gallons.
Are you going to make it up this
or
hill?
Or you can get towed.
I'm rooting for you here. Are you going to make it up this hill?
He's making it.
I'm making it up this hill. I think at one point I ended up wedged between a tree on top of a tree that I flattened down, and I had Crazy One help me out, and we could not get my vehicle out of there. So I don't know if it was partially glitched or not, but we tried for quite some time.
This is like Skyrim, where you just run at 80-degree angles up at the mountainside. You eventually...
Then you have different things like, your gears, low gear, high gear, lug differentials, all-wheel drive, 4x4. So you can upgrade your vehicles to have different things. Like when you start, you have your engine has to be running in order to use your winch. So if you fall on your own roof, you cannot use your winch because your engine will stall. There's some upgrades to get like an electrical driven winch. So at that point, you can use your winch when you're on your roof and your engine is stalled. So yeah, it's definitely it's a fun game.
And this is in Game Pass, right?
No, it's not in Game Pass.
It's not.
Yet.
Not Pass.
Wait, you
I
paid
think
for a
Mud
game?
Runners is, I think, or was. Is either was or is.
Wait, Pete
You
says
bought a game?
But I enjoyed Mud Runners so much that I didn't mind spending I think it was $50, $49.99.
Really for this?
Oh, there I go. Woo! Engine stalled.
Oh,
Hey!
Yeah, I mean,
Pete.
like Mud Runner and this, I've been, seeing you, Coop, and Crazy Juan going back and forth with this and enjoying it. So
Yeah, it's
y'all are making me want to pick it up. So and join you guys.
Yeah.
it's a very interesting game, or genre, I should say, since this is now the
It does. This definitely looks like
oh like to
damn.
be-
Well,
My
it's
wheels
something
up.
different too. We get used to playing the same types of games. We get trapped in this is a little different.
right.
No, I agree. It's something different. It's definitely a slower game than
It's don't be in a hurry to do stuff like this. Oh, and also like right now, what you can see, the map is slightly dark, which means that you haven't discovered that land yet, or the task or objectives that you can do in here. There are like watchtowers that you can drive to, and once you discover those, that will unlock the map.
So it's Assassin's SnowRunner.
Assassin's Creed.
It's
Yeah.
just no, without nice.
They just need to add a couple sadistic twins and make it a Far Cry game.
Are you gonna pick it up on PC or on Xbox? Because unfortunately, they're not cross-play or cross-buy even.
No smart delivery on this one, huh?
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that, but it's definitely not cross-buy. Cross-buy is
Oh, okay, yeah.
feature.
Oh, dangerous water levels.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So I pulled myself out, but so you'll have different winch points, so you can set like what winch point you want to use, and then in the environment you can tie yourself to a tree or to another truck.
Oh, so a truck could like pull you.
So you can pull yourself
Right
out.
now, you need to have Roger Moore come out and save you. James Bond. He's got that car that drives
right.
under the water and everything.
Right.
So this is one of the Hummers that I rescued and added to my garage.
Dude, if Skyrim doesn't come to the Amico, I'm going to be disappointed.
That's right. Open every box. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Coop loves this game so much. He says he's going to buy it on both.
All right.
On PC, you can use mods. That's
Like a
right.
jacked up general.
I hope that will still come to Xbox too.
Hey, them Duke
But who
boys
knows?
are in trouble now. There's an ice cream truck going up and down Peach Street. It's 11 o'clock at night here on the East Coast. Where in the world are you?
I could haul a ring pop from one end of the map to the other.
All right, so Showrunners, which is Peter's fun
Snowrunner.
game. Oh, he's in Vancouver. What are you doing eating ice cream in Vancouver in the middle of the night?
What aren't you doing? Eating ice
if you
cream.
get your tonsils removed, that can be
Oh, this is true.
Oh, yeah.
prescribed.
All right, Chris, you're up. Talk to us about
Gato Roboto.
Gato
Donut.
Roboto. Domo arigato gato roboto. Still got to get used to the little topic thing here as I'm trying
I
to.
think Project Jeff was playing this too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, talk to us about Gato Roboto.
It's a cool little game. Kind of Metroidvania style. So
Looks like something you
start
get
off
in
with
Rare
the-
Replay.
You kind of you're out in space. You're a cat that I guess travels with your owner and the astronaut, and you land on this planet. But when you land on the planet, you get stuck. So the astronaut gets stuck. So he has to send a cat out there to take care of things, and because there's some kind of laboratory that was sending a signal, and they're trying to investigate on this alien world. So you're making your way through, all these areas to get to find out what happened, and get to the main lab. So, and you have different, like right here, what you're seeing, you're in a robot, right? You kind of get to a robot because as a cat, you're just running around. You can't shoot anything as a cat, so you need something to help you fight some of these aliens and get around. There was also an area where there's an underwater area, so you can jump into like a underwater vehicle also, and you can shoot. What's cool about this robot right here, and then you go back and forth. So in the beginning, there's some areas where you can only travel through water, and you have to be able to. What you're trying to do is turn off. You want to drain the water, and then you get to where you jump back into the robot, and then you go through those areas that were covered in water that you can't get to with the robot, and you kind of go back and forth. There are some areas where you have to jump out. You can jump out with the cat and go into some small areas to get into a certain room and an area, and get some you get some extra items, maybe whatever for your robot. So like this robot, you have your regular weapon, and then you have a rocket launcher, and then you have somehow I added some kind of deal to where I can do like a spin kick, kind of almost like a double jump, help you get to higher areas.
It's kind of like a black and white Mega Man, looks like, kind of.
Yeah, it's a fun game. It's pretty big. So, and what's cool is that yeah. And what's cool is that you open up the map and you can see the areas where you need to get to, so you can kind of make your way. Sometimes she doesn't say that, so you never know.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's a cool game. It's in Game Pass, and this is one of the games I downloaded and just play, pick it up, have fun, and that's what I love about Game Pass, because here we are. I did downloaded Street to Rage 4 on Game Pass. Downloaded Deliver Us the Moon. I'm playing Witcher 3 off of Game Pass. Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming to Game Pass. I mean, yeah, the value there is just second to none right now. Now, Sony's PS Now has gotten better, and them adding, I think isn't Spider-Man going in there, and they're adding their first party stuff in there, and lasting for about 3 months. So, I mean, that's enough time for you to finish those games if you have the time. So, definitely Game Pass is worth it. And if you like these type of games, this is worth it also. It's a fun game. Who was the developer? Well, it's published by Devolver Digital, and I think I saw this game at PAX South on the floor. Doinksoft is the developer.
Okay.
I think it first came out in Steam. It's on Switch, PS4, and then now Xbox Game Pass. So it seems like the idea Xbox and those guys are really, regardless of where some of these games launch first, they sit there and they work with these publishers to get it out, and then next thing you know, it's in Game Pass.
Yeah.
So
it's good.
Yeah, and it's good because something like this, most people may not buy it. But with Game Pass, you try it, and you like it, you buy it 20% off before it leaves Game Pass. So
exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, at least they give you enough notice on games,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Before they get removed. So at least you can either quickly finish them or purchase them.
Yep. So very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Cool game.
Yeah. All right. Next up, We're gonna go to Frankie because we're gonna back around to John. John's gonna introduce the big topic of the night in a little bit. But Frankie came to me and asked if we could do sort of a weekly segment on which I like. And for now, till we figure out something more spiffy, we're just gonna call it Frankie Sales of the Week till I can figure out what else to call it.
I was just gonna do Tommy Tallarico presents the I Am a Shill segment, but
Right. What if I can promise you that I'll have you and your mother playing games together, Frankie?
That's right.
go on. Tell me more.
And if you crap on that, you're crapping on your mother.
How long's it been, Frankie, since you've sat down with a family member? 30 years or something? We're going to change all that. You're going to be playing with your whole family day one.
He's not wrong.
He's not, but he's
Not wrong.
You know,
But you're right. It was very funny how he. Yes, it was very funny how
Tommy's slick. He's a salesman.
He is, man.
Yeah.
He is. Which reminds me, he's got to get his ass back on the show. I was looking
Say
to
his
see.
name 2 more times.
I know. I was looking to see if he was green. He's not green tonight. He's only yellow. So
He's been busy.
he has been busy. He's been making the rounds. I give him a lot of credit, man. He's been making the rounds. They're gearing up, and I'm excited. We gotta get to October because I really want that thing in the worst way. So
Frankie goes to Retrowood.
all right, so Frankie, you picked 2 games. You picked one from the PSN store and one from the Xbox store that are on sale. Which one did you want to bring up first?
Let's do the Xbox one.
All right, so this week on Xbox is
Drum roll.
The best $7.99 you can spend on Xbox this week. There it is.
Yep.
Look at it. Just look at it.
Yeah, I grabbed this because it was 60 frames per second. So
That's a
oh yeah,
friend.
July 1st for Retromania.
It looks good.
So yeah, so talk about. All right, Frankie, the floor is yours.
Look, this game got shit on when it came out because of all the microtransactions and whatever. But I don't know. I played through all that. I didn't have any problems. I'm terrible at competitive shooters. I did pretty okay online for what I normally do. So they never bothered me in the first place. But a lot of people wrote this game off when it came out. Even though compared to the last Battlefront game, you now have a campaign. Everyone wanted a campaign. And just the offering that this game has in comparison to the last one, there's a lot more shit you can do in this game. So if you haven't, I think it's in EA Access. I don't know if you guys are still doing that, but I think it's in there. But $7.99 for this game, absolute steal. I think the last DLC event they're doing, the Scarif map that Mike's playing the trailer for, this is the game that's very much worth your time. If you love Star Wars, if you love competitive games, third person or first person, however you want to play it, it's a damn good time. And if you passed up on it because the microtransactions pissed you off, they've phased all that stuff out. They've got a better progression system in place. So I highly recommend checking it out. It's a lot of fun.
Looks good.
It's a good time.
I think, Frankie, you just like games with battle in front of them, like Battleborn.
Yeah, that might be. That's a fair point. Battlezone, Battleborn.
Right.
That is funny. That is a good point. So, all right. So that's on the Xbox Live Store, and
$7.99.
$7.99. All right. Now moving over to the PSN Store, a smaller game in the series, but
yeah. So you'll notice a theme. Like these are both games that got a really bad rap when they came out for very different reasons. So this one, Metal Gear Survive, it's in Game Pass. This is actually why I started playing in the first place. So I'm not like a Metal Gear fan. I never really delved into any of the games. I have them all. I haven't set aside the time to play them. So I saw this in Game Pass. I was like, I don't know. Like everyone shit on this game when it came out because it's the first post Kojima, Metal Gear game. And it's like, whatever. I was like, I'll just try it out, you know. So I spent probably a good 4 or 5 hours that day playing the game, and there's a lot of systems in this game that do get kind of annoying right away. You know, like you have a hunger gauge you got to pay attention to, like hunger and thirst, stamina, health, all that junk. But at the same time, it's just I don't know what it is, but the gameplay loop about this is just really fun to me. You know, you're basically going around. You can build like fences and stuff to kind of block these zombie-like things from attacking you right away. By the way, the driving mechanics in this game do suck. Just throwing that out there. I did run across a Jeep for the first time last time I played, and I was driving, and I was like, ugh. But I don't know. There's just something to like the exploration because you're basically trying to rebuild your own base, and you're just sort of going out on scavenger missions, downloading data, trying to basically get a wormhole to get back home. So because you're kind of the game is set in this weird place. I guess it's like I don't remember because it's from Metal Gear 5, so I didn't understand it, and it's Metal Gear, so you know what I mean. The story probably doesn't even matter anyways. But I don't know. There's just something to the gameplay loop of just poking these weird zombie things in the face with sticks. But and just scavenging and finding stuff to craft better weapons. Upgrade your camp. I'm pretty sure you can recruit people, but I haven't really gotten to that point where I've run into any survivors yet. But the last time I played, I think you can. There's like this weird mist or the sands that's as you're kind of going out and exploring more. Like this is like the more dangerous area for you to get into. So you have an oxygen tank, so it's another meter to pay attention to. But I don't know. For me, I usually hate that stuff, but for whatever reason, like the way that this game does it feels like it's not overwhelming, even though it kind of is. But Chris was talking about Game Pass. If you have Game Pass, try the game out at the very least. And if you end up liking it, it's on sale for $7.49 on the PlayStation Store. $7.49 I feel is a very fair price for this game. I know there's a bunch of co-op stuff you can do. I haven't really messed around with that obviously because nobody's playing the damn game. But I know Brent and I want to say Jeff actually played it a long time ago. But yeah, so that's Metal Gear Survive. I think it's actually also on sale on Xbox for $11.99 if you want to buy it, if you end up liking it. But it's worth checking out at the very least. I mean, again, I have no ties to the Metal Gear. So for all I know, this game sucks. I don't know, if you're going to look at it as a Metal Gear game. But, post Kojima, it's post, like actual Metal Gear canon as far as anyone's concerned. I think for what this game is, it's well worth picking up at that price.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's pretty much the same assets from Metal Gear, the last game before it, right? I don't know. I haven't played a Metal Gear game in a long time, so.
Yeah, I don't know, but I the gameplay in this just feels so good, and it looks great.
Well, the last Metal Gear game, where they're taking the people up on the parachutes, that looks kind of similar, but the assets graphically, there's something a lot different about this. Just from watching this, this has got kind of a whole different. Metal Gear was like the last Metal Gear was much more serious. This looks kind of like arcadey, maybe.
That's a word for it.
Or I mean, like an arcadey version of a Metal Gear game.
Could be.
I don't know. I never really got into Metal Gear, so
right.
I just know that this game is pretty cool.
Nice.
Okay. Aren't they supposedly working on revamping the Metal Gear series? Thought I read somewhere where.
Well, I think they're gonna have to because.
Well,
I mean that's what else is Konami doing?
De Niro says it'll be leaving Game Pass soon. So yeah, if you have Game Pass, you want to try this game out. I do. I strongly recommend it. Play it for a couple hours, see if it's your kind of thing.
Buy it for 20% off.
Yeah, I think and like I said, it's on sale for $11.99 on Xbox right now, $7.49 on PlayStation. So whatever you want to do it.
Well, I believe I heard something about that Konami, believe it or not, was in talks with Kojima again to do something with the Metal Gear. And there's also been rumors about Kojima with the Silent Hills franchise as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also Sony's buying Silent Hill, and
Microsoft was buying Kojima or was buying Konami.
Right.
Microsoft's just gonna buy Kojima.
Nobody's buying ring pops.
Nobody's buying ring pops.
Nobody.
Oh
Well,
God.
Google might be.
Right.
Yeah.
Google
Stadia
ring
will.
pops, right? Stadia ring pops. It's an Epic. It'll be an Epic Store exclusive. So,
Ugh.
all right. Hey, by the way, just a very quick segue. Since we talked about Game Pass, Microsoft during their Q4 had mentioned that Q3, I think is what they're on now. I'm sorry. Game Pass has now exceeded 10 million subscribers, and Xbox Game Pass members seek social connection with over 23 million new friends, which is a 130% multiplayer increase. Now, let's be fair. There's a slight epidemic that's helping that. So it's, but hey man, look, there are some of us who here extol the Game Pass as one of the best things in gaming, and we're seeing that Microsoft's desire to put games in a service for you to play, like Gato Roboto and Streets of Rage 4 and things like that, are paying off. It is incredible to see coming into the next generation where Microsoft is going to lean heavily on Game Pass with the Xbox Series X. That that is thriving. It is a thriving subscription-based model. I would imagine it's probably doing better than EA Access. Probably, I think PS Now is fairly comparable. I think they've got 6 or 7 million subs. But this is for those of us who believe in Game Pass and who enjoy Game Pass and who are looking forward for other games, big games to hit Game Pass. This is a good sign. This is a good thing to see. So I wanted to bring this up real quick because this is it's a milestone, and it shows that Microsoft is not they're not backing down. They're going to continue to talk about Game Pass. They're going to and I believe that I read somewhere today that that xCloud will somehow be woven into Xbox Game Pass. Now, whether or not it's a tier, and you just get it, you just kind of get it with your Ultimate subscription. But if you don't have Ultimate, you have to pay for it. Don't know, but that'll be interesting to see what happens when this actually hits. So, any thoughts on this, gentlemen?
No, I think it's been successful being on PC. Buddy at work, just talking about Game Pass to him and telling about some of the games he looked into it, and he's like, he picked it up on PC and he enjoys it. So he always finds a game that he can play that he hasn't played before. But I can understand why some people, they don't jump on subscription services like this, because there's people, they buy every game out there, and so they don't see no point in for a Game Pass, which I understand, but when you look at Game Pass offers the first party stuff in there, and it's in there pretty much forever as of now. That's value right there, to where you can save money and you can play the first party games in there while you're buying all the other games that you want to play. So yeah, it's up to everybody. It depends on the individual.
Yep. And they get money from you because you're more apt to buy DLC when you didn't have to buy the base game.
Yeah, but I think there's some perks and also in Game Pass where you can get some free DLC and stuff in-game perks also.
Yep. And you, of course, your Microsoft rewards.
Yeah, just for playing Game
Yep.
Pass games. Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
It's also like, people who subscribing now because, they might have more time on their hands. They might keep their subscription once, this whole craziness will go away and just see value in this service.
Very true. Very true. Okay. All right. So, Johnny, you're up. So we're gonna do our main topic for the night. I figure we won't go. We're promised Frankie not to go much.
You got a half hour.
We got 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's plenty of time.
That's plenty of time to talk about it. Let me grab what I think I want to grab here.
Real quick before we jump on that, because it depends on how long that goes.
Yes.
I want to announce the next level gamer of the month.
Oh, that's
before everybody starts rolling out, and he was in here earlier. I don't know if he's still in here, but Project Jeff is my
Project Jeff.
April gamer of the month. Yes.
Way to go, buddy.
Very nice.
And plus he's a positive guy. He talks about games most of the time. He doesn't get caught up in all the BS moron stuff we see on Twitter. I see more games coming from him. So and he supports us on the show on a regular basis. And he's also our research.
Yes.
So he's our Google. So Project Jeff, I'll be sending it. Let me know $10 gift card of your choice. Xbox, PlayStation, Switch.
Oh, we know which
Steam,
one he's going.
Whatever.
We know.
Pick up in person.
Yeah.
He's going to go Google Stadia.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh man. All right.
So yeah, appreciate everybody that
congratulations
joins us and keeps gaming. So
yeah, Jeff's a great guy, man. He's always playing something,
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Hey, before you move on, since you said Google Stadia again, I just wanted to mention that they had one of their whatever the hell their directs, and there's a game coming from Curve Digital called Ember that looks ridiculously cool. Like it kind of reminds me of what's that totally reliable delivery service, right, Chris, that you were playing before? Yeah. It seems like it's that same type of just like the goofy, like here's an everyday situation, and then we're just doing a bunch of goofy shit to, like they're throwing like fire extinguisher grenades at fire and stuff. It looks really cool. I think it's the first on Stadia, but it's a Curve Digital thing, so it'll be everywhere else at some point, I'm sure. But if you get a chance, go look that up. It looks pretty neat. Figured it was worth mentioning because that was one of the things they showed that was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
It's really meant to fire up John because Google Stadia is not a console.
No, it is not.
Trying
it's
so
not.
hard.
It's a service.
You can buy it.
It's a service, and they give you a controller. You're right.
You can buy a controller. It's physical.
There's nothing wrong with that.
What
though.
about xCloud? They have actual consoles in their data centers. What's that?
Exactly.
Ooh, gets complicated.
But there's nothing wrong with that. Play your games how you want. Round and round we go. Everybody's happy. Yeah.
How about them Orioles? How about that baseball? Can we talk? You know what Frankie wants to play?
How's
Esports.
Doing?
Esports.
Cal Ripken.
You know what's been really great about this whole thing is that esports facility that's near me is closed, and I'm just like, that's great.
That is irony at its best.
It is. I love it.
All right. Spicy John.
Yes. Spicy John segment. The topic we've been, I think, wanting to talk about. I guess we'll delve into the Last of Us 2 debacle that I call it. Evidently, there have been some leaks from The Last of Us Part 2. I personally
Wait, hold on. Before you get into this, nobody in the comments, please don't post any of the stuff.
Yes.
Right.
No spoilers. No.
Yeah, please.
No.
Now, you know what the good news is, though? We have...
But you can DM me.
Yeah. we have our chat room. These are our gaming brothers. They're not going to do that because these are good people. Our people in chat aren't going to come in here and do that.
Well, evidently, there were some leaks that came out, and there were some things that supposedly, from what I've seen, I didn't personally go check them out because me personally, I'm not going to run the experience when this game comes out. So there were a lot of things that bothered me about this story, and I wanted to kind of get into this. First of all, if leaks come out on a game, these developers, everybody that works on these games, whether it's a Halo game, whether it's a Gears of War game, especially story-driven games like RPGs, The Witcher, The Last of Us, Uncharted. A story-driven game is everything revolves around the actual story. And if a leak comes out and people maliciously send those leaks out, this just destroys a game. Now, I heard that it may have been a quote-unquote disgruntled Naughty Dog employee. There is no reason. We have these things that happen all the time. There's always a disgruntled employee. You've got one employee that said they were mistreated or not paid or, something mistreated, but then you've got 500 from that same studio that are loving life, they're loving the game, and they're saying good things about it. So there is no reason, no matter what the reason is, no matter how you feel you've been mistreated, when you're working for a company, you've got hundreds of people working on these games. They sacrifice their personal lives. They spend time away from their families. Sometimes they sleep at the studios to make these games. The lowest thing that you can do is send out leaks for a game, a huge game that's come out that people have been working on for years. And it got so bad to the point that people were taking emails and actually sending out malicious emails to people on purpose. This isn't just about putting leaks out and letting people accidentally run into them. You got people that are intentionally sending them out to people. So this kind of behavior is just childish and immature. I mean, imagine them doing that to a Halo game and they had some big story about Master Chief coming out. Or Marcus Phoenix or something from Gears. And somebody goes and even though those games are they have a multiplayer, they're real big on the multiplayer, not just the campaign, but imagine you leak something out big and run it for everybody. How can you as a person take pride in that? So for me, and then, of course, I read some of the comments online. Some of the people, when a leak comes out, I saw that people are going to where these leaks are. So they read about them or they see some video footage and then all of a sudden they're on Twitter saying, "Oh man, I'm canceling my pre-order. I didn't like what I saw. The story didn't go the way I wanted it to, blah, blah, blah." And I'm sorry. I don't feel sorry for anybody. If you are really invested in a game, this is where I want to call some people out because me personally, I picked up this game. I've got the Ellie edition and I'm still excited about the game. I didn't go to the leaks. I didn't read them. I'm 100% all in on this game. Naughty Dog delivered an excellent first game, The Last of Us. It's a wonderful, wonderful game. And I'm sure the second game is going to be just as good. But what kills me is people go to where they're having these leaks and then they find out what happens in the game and then it doesn't go the way they want it to. And then they act like childish little brats online. Well, I'm just going to cancel my pre-order. Well, then you weren't very invested in the game to begin with. Because if you really like a series, if you really like a game and you're really all in on this, You're not just going to pull out like this just because. I mean, you have to remember these are fictional stories. This isn't real life. There were people commenting that, supposedly in this day and age, we have all this SJW stuff, and there's stuff going around, but people are commenting on Ellie's sexual preferences. They're commenting on a scene where there was some religious stuff. Nobody on Twitter is ever religious. Now this game comes out and there's a leak, and all of a sudden everybody's found religion. Nobody has trouble with Far Cry games where you have some evil guy that's the head honcho, and there's always some religious background to those guys or something goofy, but nobody has a problem with that. I personally think people just want attention on Twitter. They want attention on social media. This game's going to be a huge game. I stand by it 100%. I'm going to buy it and enjoy it. I mean, I've got the LA edition, but I wanted to take a minute to talk about this because it just upsets me. I mean, God, these developers work on these games forever, and then these leaks come out, and then we got gamers that we know that are spreading leaks around, making it worse. And it's stupid to me. I mean, people have really worked hard on these games. I can't imagine, like I said, what if the next Halo game, somebody does this and runs the story about Master Chief or something, or there's some gear. I mean, people spend hard-earned money on these games not to have the story run for them before they even come out. And also some of the leaks, this is going to be a huge game. This is going to take hours and hours to play. These leaks only showed certain parts of it. So really, I think it's kind of irresponsible to look at these leaks and find out a few tidbits and make a judgment on a game. Oh, this game sucks. This game's horrible, when you haven't even played it. I mean, I'm sorry. I see no excuse in it. There's no excuse for spreading leaks, and I think it's pitiful. But hey, that's the day and age we live in. Me as a gamer, I don't want to run the experience for somebody else. That's horrible. I mean, there's just no excuse. There's no excuse. And if this was a Naughty Dog employee or whoever, I always hear these stories. Oh, they worked me too long, or they didn't pay me. Woe was me. They've got hundreds. I'll pull it up. I actually got an article right here, or a little segment, if I can find it real quick, of one of the developers from Naughty Dog, Asher Einhorn. He says, I never had the opportunity to play this without knowing the plot first. He said, that's the downside of working at Naughty Dog. Even knowing it every time and knowing the storyline, I'm blown away. I can't wait for all of you to see this, what the team has put together. It's been a long time coming. I've got articles from over and over from all kinds of devs from Naughty Dog that are praising this game, that have worked hard on it. So it kind of reminds me of like the Rockstar games. I think there was a dilemma when one of the Rockstar games come out and somebody said, oh, I'm overworked, I'm underpaid. I mean, this seems to be like I don't know if people are just trying to make a name for themselves, but it seems like there's a lot of complaining going on, because I can find just as many developers or people that work at Naughty Dog that are happy as these so-called people that are unhappy with the story. So there you have it. That's my thoughts on it.
The John Play soapbox.
It just, yeah, it just,
That's how you really feel.
It really bothered me, because we all want to enjoy these games. What has gaming come to where people purposely? I mean, maybe it's me, and maybe I'm being a little naive about it, or maybe I'm just a good person with a conscience. Who wants to run games and spoilers? I mean, who does that? Right.
So, all right.
Somebody give him a ring.
So I'm gonna say that I looked at the stuff, and I've been pretty vocal about I have very little interest in this game in the first place. But having seen the stuff I've seen, I'm actually now pretty curious about the game, because there's some stuff in there that looked really interesting, and I'm like, okay, so how did they get to this point? It's like, it's sure like there's pretty big moment spoilers, but it also the game's about the story, so it's about like how you got there. And that's the stuff that you don't understand, and that's what I'm curious about. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I didn't care much for the first Last of Us, and
Yeah, I
I
kind
don't
of
know.
petered
I
out
just
on the first one.
yeah, I don't
Still need
I-
to play it.
I don't think
haven't played
Neil
this one.
Druckmann is a great writer at all. Like I personally blame him for Uncharted 4 being pretty crappy, but I don't know. I there's something about seeing what they are doing with this game that I'm like, okay, I'm actually kind of curious now. Now that
Well, too, Frankie, this game, it's more about just The Last of Us, the game, and Neil Druckmann. This is a trend we've seen in the past from gamers and people leaking this stuff out. That's the main problem.
yeah,
Whether the game's good or bad, you've got
It's-
people out there
Yeah,
with bad
don't forget.
intentions.
Don't forget that journalists, that journalists or former
Right.
former journalists leaked the plot and leaked out half of Assassin's Creed. I think it was Odyssey before it came out. So
yeah,
Yeah,
but
that-
it's
Fallout
okay.
4.
well, you're right. It's okay because it's him. But
Well,
no, look.
yeah, and it's also only okay when this one particular person does it, but if somebody else does
Right.
it, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's wrong.
Right.
Like I said, I'll be watching because
Yeah, but-
when it happens to these people that are laughing about it or think it's no big deal, let me ask you gamers a question out there. Wait till it happens to a game you're looking forward to.
Well, but that's the thing.
You know.
This is a game they were looking forward to.
Some of them.
So,
There's some people out there that are just
Well,
waiting
yeah,
for
yeah,
something bad to
John,
happen.
John, the other thing is that there's this Xbox group in Brazil that is mostly the guys who are going around sending out these spoilers to people. I don't remember the name of the group. I don't care because I've run into a couple of them on Twitter before. They're weird. Like they're fucking bizarre people. But it's mostly them doing it. Like I don't see a lot of the people that we kind of interact with, like, and maybe it's because I blocked them. I don't know. I don't see everything, but yeah, I haven't
I've
had.
seen zero about leaks and stuff. Only
Yeah,
people like, oh yeah, I know. I've
I
seen
only know
stuff. It's
about
like,
it.
okay.
Yeah, because people.
Yeah,
are
thankfully I
saying-
didn't see any either.
But what's
Yeah.
ironic is some of these people that searched out for the leaks and then they find out what's going to happen. This is what
And
kills.
then be and then,
Then
be
they
angry
don't. Then
about-
they don't like what happens, or they think they know. See, here's the other thing: when you see tidbits of games or you see sections of games, you don't know if it's in the beginning. Yeah, he's dying. The whole thing, it's gone to hell. What's happened to Naughty Dog? And they could be totally wrong. So they're not gonna buy a game just because leaks came out that they took their sorry ass and looked them up in the first place. I just don't get it. I mean, either you're passionate about a game, like when Halo comes out. I'm gonna get Halo no matter what. There's nothing stopping me that's gonna get Halo. If people put out leaks on Halo, I'm not gonna listen to it.
Right.
So my thing is, I don't think these people were really truly wanting this game in the first place. They just want something to complain about, which we see all the time on social media.
Yeah. Well, and social media. So there's the root cause. Social media. You didn't have this crap when
Camiro's right. He said, John, that's their choice. Yeah, that's their choice. But the thing is, if they go and look something up, De Niro, and then they complain about it and cry like over. I mean, I watched some people all week long on Twitter that went to look up things, and all they did was complain about it. I'm like, well, why did you look at it in the first place? Yeah, it's your right, but we don't want to hear your mamby-pamby crying about it,
When you
It's
Red,
like
Red Dead
looking
Redemption
for-
2 has been out for a while.
It's like looking for Janet Jackson's nipple slip because they
Right.
didn't get it and then get upset and have to complain to the FCC. It's like,
Yeah.
right, only like a few people saw it, but
Oh, she
Right.
had pasties on.
Right. But you
whatever.
slowed it down enough that you So
Yeah,
look,
yeah. Like to rewind and slow mo it and then get upset about it. It's like,
Right.
okay.
Yeah. No, look, if you're gonna be upset about something, be upset about them ruining Star Wars. Don't be upset about this.
So the way I looked at it, like I said, I've got the Ellie edition. I've spent over $200. Like I said, I'm all in on it. I'm not gonna
Better show the stuff off.
Yeah. So
I'm not going to let the leaks run it for me. I'm going to get the game, I'm going to play it, and I'm going to use my own judgment after I've played the game in its entirety, which is what you should do before you make a judgment on a game.
Yeah, I agree. To fully judge a game, you should play through it and see how it does play through, and
Yeah.
maybe it will make more sense on what
So
you heard from the leaks. So, but
yeah.
look, I I never played the first one. I had no interest in playing second one because I had no investment interest in it.
Right.
But maybe later on down the road I will. But I went and looked at it. I was talking to Jago about it and stuff like that, because his opinion, because we were talking about it. And he's still going to get it and play it. He doesn't agree with some of the stuff he saw, but he's still going to play it because, like you said, he enjoyed the first one. He wants to play it through and then judge it for himself.
Right.
But I do feel there's more to this story than just a disgruntled employee leaking this out. I mean, yeah, we can talk about all these stupid idiots in social media. Some people are just going to use it to be fanboy about it, so they can, make fun of the leak and PlayStation gamers. But at the same time,
and
Well,
there
there was
being
a big
like
deal
PlayStation
too,
5
Chris.
or PlayStation exclusive that
Yeah.
they're the only ones allowed to
yeah.
cry about.
And
Chris
so
is-
there is something strange. Well, real quick, there's something strange going on because a while back we got told that this game is delayed indefinitely. Okay, and not too long after that, here comes this leak. So I read somewhere, and take it with a grain of salt. It's probably just a rumor. It may not be real, but allegedly that the reason why it was leaked because this person, among other employees at Naughty Dog,
Wait,
were
hold on.
asking.
Before you say this, there's an easy. Did we talk about the Gearbox Randy Pitchford stuff?
Not we did.
Yeah,
yes,
no, we did bring
did.
it up. Yeah, and
Okay.
how it got overblown, and then there was another side to it.
But I think I know
About
where
the
Frankie's going.
bonuses.
I think I know
Yeah.
where Frankie's going with this.
Yeah,
That
Go ahead.
Yeah, that statement that you found is
Uh-huh.
literally the Gearbox
it
thing.
almost sounded.
It's exactly the same thing,
Yeah, I
replacing
know about
Randy
the
Pitchford
bonuses
with
and
Neil Druckmann. Yeah.
yeah, and then that's what's strange about it. So, but I'm just saying, whether it's real or not, if that's part of the case, why? But it's still weird how after this thing got leaked, and then all of a sudden, hey, now we're coming out in June.
June
Yeah, and have a
19th.
date, and then pretty soon too. It's
Well, you
not
And
made
like-
then,
some good-
and then it affected Ghost of Tsushima because they pushed Ghost of Tsushima back. So Ghost of Tsushima is coming on July 17th.
Well, yeah. Well, that
You made some good points, Chris. Like like I said, the whole thing when the first Last of Us came out, and there was a big deal about Ellie's sexual preferences in the game. Okay, there was kind of I remember, and then of course with this game that's back again, and
Well, but-
people are accusing Neil Druckmann of pushing an agenda, and then there's a religious scene
hang
where
on.
there's a religious cult. So the first thing I thought of, well, there's all kinds of video games I've played where you've had these strange religious cults, like in Far Cry, for a perfect example.
Oh, people complain about that too.
Right,
No,
where
there were-
has an
there were
issue.
people complaining about it.
Well,
No,
they-
there
Because
were-
people
it's the
did.
Last of Us, because it's the Last of Us, and
No.
it's a Sony
People
Naughty
did.
Dog game. There are some people out there that just are waiting
No, Far
to
Cry
get in there to use
Far Cry
this.
4 got
That's
Far
fanboy talk that you're following on Twitter.
Yeah. Far Cry got some play on some of the stuff, especially the one the one that they did with the US and stuff.
Yeah, 5.
So none of that should come as a surprise to anybody. 2 years
Right.
ago, when Sony had that bizarre E3 take me from here to here and the guy with the pan flute and all that stuff, they showed the cinematic scene they showed in The Last of Us 2 told you all you needed to know. Neil
Right.
Druckmann has said straight up, he said it on Twitter, of course my political agenda and my beliefs are in this game. He said that. He said it outright. This should not be a surprise to anyone. So
But
the
I mean,
leaks-
people at the same time have a right to not. they don't like, people have a right not
Absolutely,
to like
and
that,
I will tell you.
and,
Look, I will
and
tell
if you
you
don't,
that
you should have played the game.
I will
too,
tell you
so.
that the one thing, my position on that is, and it's funny because I take the same position when I go into my synagogue. My synagogue, you have very diverse political opinions there. When I step into my synagogue, I step away from all that talk, and I just want to go in and pray and sing and do stuff. A lot of people, and I am one of those, play games to get away from real life stuff.
Right.
Not saying that I have no issue in the real world with anything like that, and it's fine. But you're right. There's what I don't want, and I don't care if it's organic. If it is just part of the makeup of the game, that's fine. I think where companies make mistakes is where and Neil Druckmann has done this, is where they kind of push it. They push it on you as a mechanic that doesn't need to exist. The Assassin's Creed games, I do remember, they got complaints because of the female character in Origins, remember, and the female character in Odyssey, and there's a female character in Valhalla.
Mass Effect too, the last Mass Effect.
Last Mass Effect. Those are things I don't care about.
Those are options, right?
It's not just that, but there's legitimate story elements to, there's legitimate pieces to that. It doesn't matter to me. But all of that said, I want to swing this back to the leak part, because, again, whether you like it, whether you don't like it, whether you are okay with it, whether you're not okay with it, and I'm not to judge, because all of us here on this panel have different opinions about those things, and it's not you cannot be that person that my opinion is the one that everybody should. So if you don't like that, I absolutely agree. You have the right not to buy the game. You have the right not to do it. But you knew that stuff 2 years ago. The leak stuff is different. When you're leaking, first off, if this really was a disgruntled employee, and there still isn't ironclad proof that it is, you think you're doing the right thing. And where I do kind of diverge from you, John, a little bit is, I understand the issue of pay and crunch and things like that, and there are legitimate gripes to that. There's legitimate. I don't at all subscribe to the suck it up, Buttercup. That aspect of it. If you're not getting your bonuses, if you're not getting what's promised to you, and that you have a legitimate complaint, and I get that, and there are ways that you do that. What you do is you leave Naughty Dog and you go work for the Initiative, and you go help the Initiative make a right, Peter? Right?
Yeah.
You leave Naughty Dog and you go to the competition and you beat the shit out of Naughty Dog with the game that you're helping create. That is how you do it. You do not take the work, and this is where I agree with you 100%, John. You do not take the work that hundreds of people, of your coworkers, put blood, sweat, and tears into, who are also, by the way, they're in the same boat as you, but they're in the same boat. In the middle of this pandemic going on, where the entire industry is kind of trying to figure out what the hell to do, you don't go and ruin the game, not just for the people who did work for that game, but for the fans that do want the game, who do already know what the plot, kind of is, because you saw Ellie kiss what's her name in the trailer 2 years ago, and you saw Joel. You know Joel's going to be in the game because you saw him in the trailer last year. It's not. You know what you're getting with the game, and if there are plot twists and stuff, that's part of the game. But you know what you're getting. To do this to me, it's a cowardly move.
Well, you know, Mike, even my whole point to this is none of this stuff is proven. You've got, like I said, I've got all kinds of facts to back up that there's just as many people that work there that are happy about this game, excited. You know, you always have a few rotten apples in the barrel, and I mean they've had this happen with Rockstar. There's always that one guy, that one girl, you know, that's disgruntled or they didn't treat me right. But here's the thing. Even if something did happen, because I don't know, I'm not all seeing techno, I don't know. Let's say something did happen. That's neither here nor there. Two wrongs don't make a right. And you don't, this is, people have spent months or years on motion capturing for this game. They've been writing, you know, directing this game. They've hired voice actors. People have spent tons of hours in the game. It's a piece of artwork. All these video games are artwork. You don't take that and just throw it out there and run it.
Yep.
You know, it's just incomprehensible.
Go ahead, Frankie.
The other weird thing about it is, I know, John, I'm guessing you haven't looked up any of this stuff. The leaked video stuff is not like in English. Like it's a foreign language version of the game.
Right.
So I have a hard time believing it was somebody at actual Naughty Dog because they're based in California. Right. So I'm wondering if this was like one of the localization teams, like one of the QA guys for that.
Mm.
Well, you know what's weird, Frankie, when all these leaks came out, I haven't looked up anything because I don't want to go look and find out anyway. I'm spending money on this game. I don't want to know anything. I want
and
to
he's buying the disc, by the way.
Right, and I'm buying the disc, the Ellie edition, you know, the whole kit and caboodle, because I want to have fun with this game. I'm not going to like I said, I'm not going to let people's opinions stop me from buying a game that I've had my heart set on. And here's the other thing. I thoroughly enjoyed the first game. The story was great. The connection between Joel and Ellie and what happened to Joel's daughter. I know I'm throwing out some spoilers now myself, but there were some things in that game that touched home as me being a parent of 4 children, who my kids are all raised. There were some things in this story that there's some deep emotional issues. There's some real world issues that we deal with today that are in this game, and then you've got I guess the zombies or the apocalypse part of it. So it's fantasy too, but it's got a mix of fantasy, fictional, but it's got some real life elements and people's feelings and things in it, and that bond between Joel and Ellie, and that story driven game is what I love. So, I mean, you know, it hasn't changed me one bit. I didn't look at the leaks. So, I mean, I'm like 100%. I'm in good shape. I've gotten the point to where, and I think all you guys would agree with this. We all like games. Some people may not like, but if you got your heart set on something, I'm not going to let anybody tread on that and ruin that for me. I don't, you know, I'm just not going to let it happen. So if you want to be mad at Naughty Dog and you think this is a chance to make Naughty Dog look bad because you're a fanboy, you know, on a different console, I'm sorry, it ain't going to work for me. I'm buying the game. I'm all in on it, you know.
Yeah, but I get your point, but there are people out there who love the first game, like Niall in the deal. So and I guess he saw whatever leaks. Everybody looks at it differently.
Right.
So whatever they loved about the first game, and then they looked at what they saw from the leaks, they're disappointed because they feel like
I don't see how you could see I don't see how you could see maybe an hour or so of footage though, and decide that you don't like the entire game.
It's not that long, but it's just
it's not
things
that long,
that happen.
but it does give you
not right.
A major impression of
Yeah.
This is not what I thought.
No, it's not. Yeah. John, what he's saying is it's not getting an hour of gameplay like the middle hour of gameplay. What they're saying is what their leaks are, from what we hear, are actual plot points.
Yeah,
they're story plot points, which is why they're so like I'm reading this article on Forbes, and
that's a really great site.
I know, but
it still goes back. I don't understand it though. Even if you see a few plot points, first of all,
no, but they're major.
No.
John, here's what
you're not gonna because you didn't see them.
There's and that's good.
Leaks
and you shouldn't see them because
Yeah. So
Right.
here's the and
But
here's
what I'm
listen,
saying,
listen.
even if you looked at them and you see a few plot points, though,
but-
how does that change somebody totally from
because
one?
because
You
you're
don't even
giving
know
them,
if they're true and accurate.
well, now
No, they
that's
are.
now I'll give you that. But
You're basing it. You're
But-
assuming
but-
that these are true and accurate.
okay,
No, there-
but
there- I think
here's
there's
what's
some
Niall.
truth
Look,
to it.
and Niall, what Niall is saying is true.
Yeah.
It's the full ending, and that's the problem.
That's horrible. If that's
yeah,
the
that's
case.
the problem.
See,
It's
that
not-
makes that makes me even more mad.
Yeah.
To put a full ending out there, shame on you, bunch of assholes.
What if
Yeah.
there are 4 different endings?
I'm sorry,
There you go. It's like
that's-
Clue, like the movie Clue.
I
No, I-
can't. I mean, there's no spicy John Place, man. That's just assholes. That's
Yeah, no,
man,
I
to
agree.
run a game
But-
like that,
but-
man.
but-
Wow.
Yeah, but I want to. So the one thing though, I know Niall. I know Niall is angry about it and he canceled his thing. But one thing he said in here that I think is the wrong message, and something that Niall, you've got to be better than that. He said, "Don't piss off your employees." No, that is not this. If and De Niro says he knows what it is because I had to scroll back in the chat. He said his cousin saw them, and so De Niro knows what one of the big leaks is, and if it's what people are saying it is, I don't care if you are mad at your employer. First off, you also have a contract with your employer. Okay, when you make I know enough about development and developers to know that when you are making or involved in development of a game, you have NDAs. There are things you are not allowed to talk about. There are things you are not allowed to do. You have a legal binding contract, and if they find out who this person is, I guarantee you this guy is going to have enough legal trouble to last him a long time, because this is major.
Well, like I'm reading here, like De Niro and Annihilator, they're saying if you only knew the leaks, it's the full ending, John, and it's bad. Well, here's the thing. When I first played The Last of Us, people weren't even sure Joel was going to be in the second one at all. We didn't even know he was dead or alive.
Well,
They
sure,
showed that
but-
preview or Ellie. So this is an apocalyptic game. This is probably going to have some bad things happen. It's not going to have some primrose ending either. So,
Right, but-
I mean, so if somebody's upset, like I haven't seen anything. If Joel dies or Ellie something or somebody comes back from the past, that's not still going to run it for me, because every game has to have an ending. Characters can't live on forever. What I get more aggravated is when they make 8, 9, 10 of a game, and for some reason the hero never dies.
Yeah, but
he's always in every game. There's nothing bad that
But
happens.
right.
Everything comes out good.
But when they revealed Joel in the trailer,
Right.
it got people excited. Just like
Right.
remember Gears 4? Remember
Right.
when JD and those guys cracked open the door in the trailer, and there's Marcus sitting there, and everybody thought Marcus died in 3.
Oh yeah.
And people got excited. So that's not that's yeah, and to Frankie's point, I think it's right. The fact that you don't know what those spoilers are, maybe there is some, and I don't say this to throw shade at you, John. I promise you, the naivety that you have on this is to your benefit, because it's
Yes.
not. It's to your benefit. But
Well, yeah, I'm not going to go out there if there's a game I'm anticipating.
Yeah,
And
so-
somebody's got these earth-shattering leaks, and then here's the other thing: I'm not going to go and run it for myself. First of all, because I'm not dumb. I spent money on the game.
right, so
I'm
you
not
don't
gonna-
want to know. Yeah, you don't.
I don't want to know. Second of all, people are assuming that because they didn't like the ending, that I'm not going to like the ending. Maybe
There's
I
that.
see the story differently. Maybe you guys don't like it because maybe Joel dies or something happens to Ellie. Maybe I look at it and I say, well, that's bound to happen. It's apocalypse. That the story's going to go on. just because other people, because my views are different than a lot of people on these games.
Sure.
So people are assuming that I'm not going to like the ending or the game because they didn't like what they saw.
No,
and
but
that's unfair to put that on me as well.
Well, that's true. That's true, but it does go both ways, and that's what Chris was saying earlier. Was that there are people who aren't going to like it, that that is their choice too. Daenerys saying mute everything, just mute it all.
Yeah.
So.
But I
that's why I love Peter so much. Peter and I, we had a discussion, and sometimes we all have different opinions on the show, and I love all you guys to death. But I mean, Peter's like a brother to me. So is Chris, Frankie, Mike, and just because someone has different opinion, I'm not going to stop caring about you guys or thinking any. I think it's cool that we have different opinions and we see things different.
What are you gonna say, Chris?
No, I was going to say that we also need to consider that, the way there's something weird going on within the studio. And because we're going through a pandemic. And so I think that's affected, these guys are working from home. They're not together, to finish this game up. I'm sure there's some of that's helped kind of delay this game. And like Frankie was saying that rumor deal that came out, it does. When I was reading it too, I did like, well, wait a minute. I thought we heard, same thing from the whole the other game, Borderlands 3.
Right.
What was
you
going
heard
on
nothing.
there? But within some of those issues, there was a deal about the supposedly employee that supposedly leaked the deal that they were not. What they did, they went to go ask about getting if they can get their bonus early so they can help them get through this COVID-19 situation, right? Because when I think supposedly people were upset whenever Naughty Dog said this game is delayed indefinitely, right? So now you got these employees with, the way I guess some of these contracts work where they don't get paid as much in the beginning and then they're relying on when this game comes out, and if it does well, they're going to get, depending on how well it does, how big their bonus is going to get. So it's a pretty decent bonus. So when they delayed this game indefinitely, these employees were like, wait a minute. So when are we going to get when are we going to get this bonus? And if they waited until the holiday, supposedly it was going to release in the holiday, then they wouldn't get their bonus until 2021. So that, that puts people in the bind that are relying on some of these bonuses. So supposedly this employee threatened them and so leaked it so to force Naughty Dog to release the game sooner so these employees can get their bonuses sooner. That's why I'm saying it's very strange how they came out not too long ago and said this game's delayed indefinitely, and then now here we are, it's coming out June 11th.
Well,
3 weeks later.
to play the devil's advocate
too,
it's kind of reminds me of when the Duke lacrosse team, the guys on the Duke lacrosse team, they all got accused of rape.
What the fuck is that?
And the Duke lacrosse, this was a story a few years back where the whole Duke lacrosse team.
Hold this to gaming.
So it is, but I'm relating. What I'm saying is just because somebody's accusing Naughty Dog of something, I mean, like I said, there's just as many people that are happy about the game as excited. So
I'm not saying they're not happy about the game. I'm sure the employees there are happy with the work they've done. Right. But if there's an issue with getting a bonus, why is this game being delayed? We're not going to see our bonus until 2021. And some of these, and supposedly some people are furloughed because you're not going to keep everybody working on a game. When you get to the end of the game, you only need certain people that are going to help finish the game, right? So if you're already done with your part of the game, and that means you're furloughed, and you're hearing that I'm not going to get my bonus until 2021 because you're not going to release it until maybe the holiday. So
there's so much. Look how so much we don't know about. I kind of question.
At the same time, I don't agree with wherever this person, if they're disgruntled, of leaking the game. It's not good for overall. It's not good.
Yeah, and I'm sorry.
They're breaking the contracts. I mean, it's like stealing bread because you're hungry.
But they're sacrifice themselves.
But I mean, it's
so that the rest of the employees can get.
Go ahead, Peter.
Soon.
No, I hear you, Chris.
It's like, they have the contract, so they're breaking, they're breaking the laws. It's like stealing bread because you're hungry. I mean, it's still, still stealing.
It's a
Right.
total lack
Still
of
breaking the
integrity,
law,
man. I mean, there's things like for example, there's things probably in the last couple of months that happened to me at work, well, because of this virus deal, we're probably not going to get our bonuses this year for, getting out as many parts this year and things like that. But I'm not going to go off the wall and lose it, and try to run it for somebody
take
else.
Take the company secrets to the competition.
Do you have a
because
secret transmission to leak or what?
because because bonuses are
getting my
just
bonus
that.
either.
Bonuses are just that. They're bonuses. They're not guarantees anyway on a lot of these places. So we usually have what we profit sharing at work, and sometimes people depend on that. But because of what happens like this virus and people not working, it affects the whole economy. So I'm not really planning on these bonuses. So if I got mad this year and I didn't get my bonus at work, and I went and tried to hurt the company or did something to sabotage them, that's wrong on me, because two wrongs don't make a right, and that would take all my integrity away. Just because somebody else does something wrong to you, if that's even the case, doesn't give me the right to act like an ass, which I can do that fine on my own anyway.
The thing I don't understand, like Niall keeps bringing this up, but it's like, what you're getting paid when you sign the contract with the company.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and Sony has already said, like, we're paying all of our employees.
Yeah.
That's right. That hasn't changed. So it doesn't make sense to me why all of a sudden you have someone who's suddenly like, wow, you know what? I should be getting paid more money right now. It's like, you knew what you signed up for. You could have left at any time.
Well, not just that, but so let's assume too, because there are some like bonus tiers that are worked in the contracts if the game does, and this is not exactly a secret, but there are some things that are done based on Metacritic scores and things like that. That's not a secret. But if you and Niall is, I don't know why Niall is standing up for the leaker. This makes no sense to me. Niall, I love you, man. And but this is what's wrong with gaming in general right now. It doesn't matter what you did. It doesn't matter if Naughty Dog, if you have a grievance against Naughty Dog, and let's say that they underpaid you. There's no way they underpaid you. If they didn't pay you your bonuses, that's different than you getting underpaid. You have a salary. They can't reduce your salary on a whim. They cannot pay you bonuses, but they can't reduce your salary. So you have all this in your contract. And if Naughty Dog does not hold to their end of the bargain, your response in no way, shape, or form as a functioning human being that should have any ounce of integrity or maturity, for that matter, should do what they did. They should not, under any circumstances, go, I'm just going to leak the whole ending of the game then. Fuck you, Naughty Dog. No, because you have just screwed your coworkers and the people who were going to buy the game, minus John, who hasn't seen the leaks. But you have screwed your coworkers. So not only have you said, well, I'm going to hurt Naughty Dog. Good. You hurt your friends too. You hurt the people that stood by you to work on that game. Congratulations. You screwed them. Now I'm sounding like John Taffer from Bar Rescue.
Right.
But seriously,
Yeah, I mean,
you are doing more. Yeah. You did more harm to your coworkers than you did to Naughty Dog. Do you think Naughty Dog's never going to make another game? Seriously, they're going to get to work on the next thing, whatever it is. But
I guarantee you, Mike, the people standing up for the leakers, I guarantee, because it's going to happen to somebody else's game down the future, and I'll remember this, and I'll say, hey, I remember when you stood up for the leaker. When it happens to a game you're looking forward to, and the shoe's on the other foot, they won't be whistling the same tune. I'm telling you right now.
yeah.
No, I agree. I mean, there's no excuse, but there's got to be something behind for someone to really release some major
I don't know
information.
This
They're
isn't
gonna
the first
find.
time
They're
this
gonna
has
find us.
happened.
They're gonna find this guy. This was too big.
Don't we have a reporter, a journalist out there who, over the years, have been able to find people that work at the
That's
studios?
the shocking part.
and-
That's why he's
and-
so upset about this.
Because
he'll
he didn't
talk
get to
two
do it.
people and
Because-
oh my God, that studio, they're the
Because
worst.
he doesn't work
They're
for
crushing
that publication anymore either.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's
yeah.
shit.
So,
I don't, you know. He can blog me
yeah. I
if he
mean,
wants.
there are things that I obviously have a little bit of a different opinion on whether or not you should deal with what I didn't get my boat. Deal with it. I don't know about that. I don't know about that aspect. But this whole thing,
it's a story-driven game. This isn't
Right.
like some arcade fighter.
Right.
This whole game depends on the story.
Right. It's
You
not
have
like,
taken something and you
I think
have
it was
totally
Frankie.
destroyed
It was like
it.
Frankie, as Frankie in our Discord has said, this is like you're leaking the plot to Forza Horizon 5. So,
I stole that from Dustin.
Hey, nobody wants that leaked either.
Yeah, I cannot and will not ever justify or condone what happened here.
No, I agree.
I don't care how angry you are at the company. I don't care. See, and now it's karma for Neil Druckmann. No, dude, it's karma for the people that he worked with. You don't understand how many people this hurts. And guess what? Neil Druckmann's still going to be the head of Naughty Dog when all is said and done. Naughty Dog is still going to put games out. And you know what? De Niro said it earlier. I saw it somewhere else as well on Twitter, and I agree with it. You know what's going to happen? Game's going to come out. Game's going to get reviewed well. Millions of people are going to buy it, and the couple of people who are thankfully, I don't think it's going to hurt people as much as we hope. But you have potentially screwed up your coworkers, and if you're okay with that, if you could sleep with that, knowing that you could potentially put your friends out of business, your coworkers out of business, out of jobs, because you had a grievance, which could be a totally legitimate grievance, and I'm not taking away from the possible grievance. I'm not, because I can understand. But
to put things in perspective, Mike, there are times like I post a lot of my trophies or achievements. I remember a while back, it's been 3 or 4 years ago, but I was posting some Xbox One achievements that I got on a game I was playing. I can't remember, it was an Xbox game, and I'm proud, and the reason why I do that, I post a lot of videos and achievement stuff because I don't like getting in all the console war BS. So I would just rather post things where people can see and they can say, oh, John's playing this game. He got a trophy for this. He got an achievement. This is his video. Well, to put things in perspective, I had a lot of people get mad at me because I'd post an achievement on a new game and people say, how dare you post that achievement? Now I know what happens in the game. And I'd have people unfollow me. I'd have people cuss me out, send me bad messages. And this is just over an achievement that had a description of something that happened. So
did the was the game out?
Yes.
What the hell is wrong with that?
Well, because here's the people's mentality. Some people haven't bought the game yet, so when they see the achievement or the trophy pop and it shows a description, they get mad at me because they don't have it yet. This is what I'm talking about. All that, I got hatred for all that, but then you got a big situation like this. This is before a game even launches, and people are running the whole story.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's some lunatics out there, man. I'm telling you. They're not right in the head.
Let me throw this out there. So, if what these people are suggesting is true, that they want to leak the game so that people get their bonuses, and leaking key parts of the game and turning people off to buying the game, wouldn't that in turn affect how much of a bonus you would get?
Because it would affect the amount of sales.
What about future bonuses? Who wants to hire you because you're a leaker?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, exactly. Like whoever that is definitely fucked their career. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well,
But
what
it's-
about all the hundreds of people that are happy with the development, that are happy at Naughty Dog? See, for just as many people, I mean, I've got a lot more facts to back me up that people are happy with the game and they're proud of it. I mean, people that have worked at Naughty Dog have been posting things all week long that have worked on this game.
Well,
Different
of course,
people.
they're trying to save
Right,
face
but
after what happened.
right,
I mean, that's
but
look, you
just
can't
'cause
take
someone
all
comes
that for face
out-
value. That's all biased. That you know,
Right.
if I
Well, see, in
you know,
America,
you
we have
talk
a
great
thing
about your
where-
Well,
company.
hang
We have
on.
a
Let
thing-
Biased
Chris.
opinion. It's a
Whoa,
bias-
Chris, go ahead.
I'm just saying that you can't take all that at face value. That's because these people work there. They're not going to sit there and come out and be, you know, if there is something going on, they don't want to risk their position there at, you know, future position there. They're not going to come out and tell you the full truth.
I
You know,
agree
and
with
look,
that,
we
Chris.
all know that in our workplace, not everything's hunky dory. You're always going to have disgruntled employees.
Right.
I have at my work. I'm sure you do too. That's the way it's always been.
But see, in America, we got this thing, you're innocent until proven guilty. You're assuming that this guy that comes out, this leaker, he's being honest. He already shows that he's got no integrity already. So if
No, I
somebody's
agree
going to
with that.
spoil a game for millions of people, that already shows what type of person he is. So I'm not really apt to just say, oh my God, this guy's right. We don't really know what happened.
Oh,
so,
nobody.
I mean,
Wait. Nobody
Yes, we
says. I
do.
don't think anybody. I don't think anybody thinks this guy was right, except for Nile.
Except for Nile.
Except for
right,
Nile.
but I'm saying we don't even know if his accusations are true. You're innocent until proven
All right,
guilty in America. This
that's
is not.
all right. That's
This is not bad, big
linked
bad
the
wolf,
game.
naughty dog.
Yeah.
You know.
So okay. So wait a minute. So I think I got that. So John, I will agree with you on that. That it is possible that what he is alleging is just either his own, it's just his personal feeling. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's what happened. And remember, the same thing happened with Randy Pitchford. There were people that came out after Randy Pitchford got accused of what he got and said, wait a minute, he at least came out and was honest with his employees and everybody, it was not this, mutiny in the room that everybody says it was. But nobody here except one person in the chat room believes that this guy did the right thing.
Look, Niles, he has a right to his opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, he
He
does.
could be wrong.
Absolutely.
He could be wrong, but
And let me tell the people in the chat, please don't be mad at me or anybody else. This is just my opinion. It's not gospel. This is just my personal thoughts on it, because people have angles today. Somebody's always not getting paid enough. They're not getting treated right enough. I'm not, everybody's trying to get something for nothing. So I tend to look at the side of, and the fact that this person or persons leaked this stuff says enough for me. So I'm not just going to all of a sudden.
Fair point.
Just
That's a fair
believe.
point.
I'm not just going to believe just because somebody comes out and says something that all of a sudden that's gospel, and that this leaker he's accusing Naughty Dog of stuff that hasn't been proven.
No,
But what
that
has been
point.
proven is this person has leaked information that's not right. That is proof.
No, that is a fair point, and
So I mean, even if you took it to court, you got some guy that's accusing somebody of something that hasn't been proven, yet he was stupid enough to put stuff out there for a breach contract.
This guy doesn't want to get caught. First off, this guy doesn't want to get known in any way, shape, or
If
form.
I caught the guy out in the parking lot, I'd beat his head in.
So,
The guy makes me mad. He's ruined it for millions of people, man. I'm sorry. I don't feel sorry for people that are just assholes. I'm sorry.
No, I think we're all with you there. I don't think anybody on this in these windows think that this guy is a saint or is a hero to anything. Unless I'm wrong.
I mean, this guy evidently worked for him for months and years and never had a problem with him till the very end.
No.
I mean, if you had a problem with somebody, why are you still working for him? Did it just happen instantly overnight? And all of a sudden now you got to look at it. It just doesn't make sense.
No.
And I think regardless, this game is going to sell very well.
Yeah.
And these employees are going to get a good bonus. I mean, but I still say there's something fishy going on to go from indefinitely not, and then coming out June 11th.
True.
Yeah,
It doesn't make sense.
I will.
What was
Yeah.
your-
With that.
There was like what, May 29th, and now all of a sudden, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
June,
yeah.
whatever. It's like,
Well, and
it's only
enough,
a couple weeks.
and enough to. So interestingly enough, a date that moves Ghost of Tsushima out of its launch window, because they pushed that back a month to get it out of the way for
3 weeks, I
Last of Us
think.
2. Well, three
Right.
weeks is nearly a month, but to get it out of the way for Last of Us
2020, it's not.
Look, man, 2 days is forever in 2020 right
But
now.
Exactly.
But this pandemic has made people. It's made people gone crazy. It's
Well, I
put it off
appreciate
people
everybody not
and
spoiling
stress.
the ending for me, because
Yeah. Well,
I'm
that's
reading
not
Witty's
fair.
comments and Annihilators. Just please, guys, if you guys know the ending, don't ruin it for me. That's all I'm asking, please.
And these guys
That's
won't.
all I'm asking.
They won't.
No.
mean,
I'll tell you
no,
what.
And Witty's got a great point too. You may miss out on a great journey to that subpar ending. You know?
Well, that's Witty's opinion.
No.
I haven't-
So no, John, what you're missing what he's saying. He's actually taking your side. Let's say you said you might have seen the ending. Let's say you saw the leaks and you didn't care. You get the game anyway, right?
Right.
That's what he's basically saying. Yeah, so you may have seen the ending. It may have been subpar. It may not have been the ending you want, but it could have been a great way from the beginning of the game to the end of the game to get there. And if you're gonna be that guy that says, "Well, I'm not buying the game anymore," you're gonna miss all that, despite what you might have seen. That's what Witty's saying. He's actually taking
Well,
your
you know,
side.
it's kind of like the Uncharted series too. It's like when the last Uncharted game come out, and the ending, you know, with Nathan Drake and everything and stuff like that. Of course, I miss Nathan Drake's character, but I also like the way it ended, because everything has a beginning and everything has an end. You know, whether you like it or not, or whether they go in a different direction, you know, I would rather see, it's kind of like the movies, you know, when they have all these Friday the 13th movies, you know, they got like 15, 16 of them at some point, or all the Halloween movies, you know, at some point you need to end a story. So, you know,
At least Uncharted, there was 4 series of that, so people got a good dose of Neil.
Well, there's 5 if you
what's his name?
count if you count the side
Side one, yeah.
So, the only
here's the
problem
other
with
thing,
that,
too,
John.
and-
The only problem with that, John, is once they make the ending to the movie, then they got to go back and freaking reboot it.
Well,
Yeah.
well, for example, when I played The Last of Us the first time, I didn't know there was going to be a second one.
Because
I didn't play.
Wait a minute. I have to
Some
address
people
something
feel
real
like
quick.
there shouldn't have been.
De Niro
I-
said, "Remember the ending to Inside. The journey was still great, though."
Yes.
So hold on,
yeah.
though. It depends on which ending you're talking about. I don't know, Peter.
I
Peter,
like
you
the
might have
ending.
been. You might have been on that stream with me, or at least watching that stream, Peter, when I got to the ending of Inside, and I just kind of laid the controller down and said, "The hell did I just happen? What the hell just happened?" But
I think we both had the same ending.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
I don't know what. I don't think it mattered what ending you would have. You still said like, what
It
happened?
makes me want to go back and play it. And try to
yeah,
see
what the
other
hell
ending.
just happened? So.
Yeah.
But you know, Mike, I like I said, when I played the first Last of Us game, I didn't know there was going to be a sequel. So if Ellie or Joel or somebody had died in the first one, and if that was the way they were going with it, still would have been a great game for me because I loved it. So, I mean, I didn't play the first one because I thought there was going to be a second, third one. I play each thing at a time, man, one step at a time. So I'm sure this game is going to be great, man. I'm sure there's going to be some story elements that I really like, man. And I'm not going to just throw that all away. And fortunately for me, I didn't go look at the leaks.
And again, that's to your benefit. So
and that is to my benefit.
that is
I don't want to
definitely-
know.
Yeah, that's
When the game
definitely
comes out and you play it, I definitely look forward to see your review and your opinion
Absolutely.
Right.
on once you finally, and then we'll go definitely from what we're talking about now, and then after you play it, definitely look forward to seeing.
Now, I may say, wow, man, the game was great, but at the end, something happened, man, and it tore me up, and people died, and this, that. But at the end of the day, the experience may be so great that I'm okay with that.
and that was exactly
You
Woody's
know?
point. That was, so again, that's exactly what Woody's point
Brainwashed
was.
by Neil Druckmann. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You know, it's funny. I've never been like, I know Neil has his own views on things, and you can see it in his game. You can see it with the sexual preferences, and you can see it in the game. But that's his right, as much as it is for me to like a game or not.
It's his right. But
I mean, we see it every day in video games. I mean, how many times do we see it where now they're forcing gender characters on us?
Well,
and if you see it all the time. I mean, it's in Assassin's Creed, it's like people are upset. I've seen guys say, well, I'm not buying the game if I have to play as a woman. That's like, get over it. Right. It's just like, you don't have to. But this is what I'm talking about. People are going to find something. We live in an age where people are going to complain about anything.
Well,
you know?
But this game is
going
to sell.
Have you read the Bible?
Yeah.
So look, I think the because we're at 12:30 and I feel bad because we went over. But Frankie actually,
really? Oh,
yes,
crap!
I know. Frankie actually though, but Frankie, you contributed. So you actually contributed to this discussion. So you can't blame us.
Right.
I just blame John.
So
well,
look, I think the bottom line on this is guy who did this equals douche, and if you are if you read the leaks and you don't like the game anymore, fine, that's your prerogative. If you haven't read the leaks, don't go reading them if you don't want to know. It's that easy if you don't want to see it.
It is.
But on the other end, and again, I don't care, what your grievance is with a company. There are certain things you don't do. This is one of them. Just like when you leave a company, and I have personal experience in this, if you leave a company because you're unhappy, you don't go to another company and even though you're under a non-compete clause, take clients with you. You can't do that. It's illegal. It's or it's legally, you have a legal binding contract that says you can't do that. You could be sued. And I have personal experience in this. This has happened to me. Not, I don't own a company, but this has happened to a company I worked for. Somebody left and they took 4 or 5 clients with them. They weren't supposed to. They weren't allowed to. So I don't care if that, I didn't care if that person was unhappy. If that person was unhappy, they go to the, like I said, do what one of the Naughty Dog folks did. If they were that unhappy, they got up, they left Naughty Dog, they went to the initiative. And if that's what you do, you go to the competition and you work to get back at your old company by making something better than the old company did. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. This is not how you do it. That's my final word.
I'll tell you what, people should be more worried about. People move around all the time, right? Especially in the development world, they go to different studios. But a company like someone like Naughty Dog, who's been doing very well for a long time, they've lost people over time. And now that Xbox has brought in these studios, they've been hiring a lot of people. And of course, they want to try to get the best people they can get. And so if they're over here pulling all these people from Naughty Dog, how much more talent they're going to have left when they go forward after The Last of Us 2.
Sure.
I'm sure Last of Us 2 is going to be great, but you look at BioWare, over time, you get your veterans are going to end up leaving for whatever reason. But when you lose your talent and you're left with the B team, it could affect your games going forward.
Isn't that the accusation, or not the accusation? Isn't that the claim that's been run on 343 Industries and Rare? That those guys left, and so that's why you're not getting a proper Conquer at Rare, and that's why Halo isn't as good because Bungie left.
That's the first time I heard that. But
what?
I heard that the guy that's running Rare, everybody's happy over there.
No. So Rare. Well, people haven't been happy that Rare was making connecting.
I'm sure in the beginning,
and Sea of Thieves didn't light people on fire. People have been asking for Conquer and all this stuff. What I'm saying is the original guys who were part of Raresoft when Nintendo owned them left. Left before Microsoft, or left shortly after Microsoft bought them. And so while you saw that first flurry of Project Zero and Project Dark and all that stuff. Then all of a sudden they shifted into Perfect Dark. Thank you. Then they shifted into other things. And
Did you say Naughty Dark?
Naughty Dark. No, I said Project.
Dark,
I said Project Dark. Project Dark. Perfect Dark.
Naughty Dark.
Uncharted.
Yeah, Uncharted.
You might
Naughty
get
Dark. You'll
Naughty
never
Dark
let
now.
me live that down, will you? I will never live down Uncharted.
Uncharted, Jotun.
Jotun. Well,
Konami.
Yeah, I know. So.
Although, funny story. I meant to tell you this forever ago, and I kept forgetting about it. When Thunder Lotus was showing off Sundered at one of the PAX shows, Bender was there, and they were talking about Jotun. Purposely call it Jotun so that people hear that, and that's what, because you say, it's like, oh well, I don't know how to spell that, but you say Jotun and they can find the game. So the developers themselves actually tell people at trade shows it's called Jotun.
You laughed at me, but
I still laugh at you.
I know you do.
I just thought it was fucking hilarious that the developers do it too, intentionally.
Oh wow.
So, yes, I was for a long time. I was unconsciously saying Uncharted, and to do it instead of Uncharted. So, yes, and Frankie would. You and Worrywart would never let me live that down. So
I missed him. He's been missing.
He disappeared again. I don't know where he is.
Yeah,
He goes back and forth.
Yeah. Anyway,
surfacing soon.
Peter, you've been kind of quiet. Any final words on this one?
No. Wait for the game to come out and play it.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Wise words.
It's going to be good.
That's all there is to it.
That's it. Believe me. Do not cancel your pre-order.
There it is. Wise
I'll
words.
tell you what, I'm not excited. I'm not a big deal for me as far as when it comes to Last of Us. Like I said, I didn't play the first one, but if you watch the Ghost of Tsushima trailer, that thing looks great.
Oh my God, yes.
You know what? This Last of Us, that shit. Nah, I don't give a fuck about that shit. But that Ghost of Tsushima, now that shit is what I want to see.
Chris, this is why
I have to wait a
love
few
you.
more weeks
You
before.
get
Are
it.
you kidding?
get it.
Genghis Khan is invading Japan, and you're a samurai, and you get to go out there and kick some Genghis Khan ass? Give me that all day.
Right.
Not all this
I do
bullshit
not.
with Last of Us 2.
I do not pronounce melee. Oh God. No,
And then you got me. You got the console hugger every game buying. See, I'll have Ghost of Tsushima and The Last of Us, so I'll have the best of both worlds.
Wait, Mike, are you a Mario
you have
or a
the Last of Us.
Mario guy?
Who?
What's
me?
that?
Yeah, you.
Mario.
That's that's my Mario
Mario.
hat. Yeah.
No, he's asking me. He's picking on me now. Am I Mario or Mario? No, it's Mario.
Okay, good. Yeah, there's I don't know who it was, but
Mario
someone on
or
that.
Wario?
I've never said Mario. I've never said
It's
Mario.
caramel or caramel. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Now my wife gets me on that one.
Some
So,
people, are caramel. Yeah.
right. John's a caramel.
I'm a caramel guy. Yeah, just put the caramel on, man. I don't know. I'm not fancy.
How do you? Okay, here's another one because my wife makes fun of me.
All right.
Crayons. How do you say crayons?
I say crayons. I say
I know.
crayons, and everybody they're
You're
like,
that's not how it's.
they're like, John, they're not crowns, they're crayons. I'm like, look, they're crowns. They're crowns to me.
I'm surprised De Niro isn't making me say amigo.
Right. Yes, I'm right with Chris 100%. I still say crowns to this day. I can't, for the life of me, I can't say crayons. I feel like, I don't know, like
Okay,
What
so
about-
hold
what about
on,
garage? If you say
Wait a
more
minute,
like
wait a
garage.
minute, De Niro. Hold on. I specifically call that game. I know it sounds like it should be guacamole. I call it guacamole because it sounds like guacamole. That's why I call it guacamole. There's a specific purpose behind that game.
Actually, Peter, to answer Peter's question, actually, I would normally say garage, but back in my days when I was single, if I wanted to pick up
garage.
chicks, I'd say I'll meet you at your garage.
Garage. So hold on. Yeah. So let
With
me.
a ring pop.
All right. So you're right. The ring pop. No. So hopefully
ring
that.
pop.
Yes. Hopefully that sets the record straight on guacamole. It is.
Right.
It is
Hey.
a play on guacamole, which, by the way, plays a. It actually plays a big part of the story of the game. So. Yes, no, I know that the term is actually melee. When we talk about like melee fighting, that
Right.
I don't say hand-to-hand melee fighting.
There we go.
Ooh, the 1-2 punch connection. There was just such a strong series. I know Peter didn't like it, but I'll tell you what, Peter. One of the things about now he's gonna make me say guacamole. About the second one. I kept thinking of you at points in time because there are some puzzles in there that took me literally 3 or 4 hours to get through, and all I could think of is this must be how Peter felt playing Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Oh, the first one?
No, that's the one you're currently
the second
on.
one.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was more that I had bugs, but yeah, now I'm stuck in a thing where you have to shoot through the sand, and it's a little more clunky,
Yeah.
in my opinion, control-wise. Eventually
You'll
through it.
get there. Just keep at it. Just keep swimming.
Exactly.
So.
Keep swimming.
Take us home. Take
All
me
right.
to bed.
Yep. So.
Both.
Yes. Once again, man, great. See, this is what happens when Frankie says, "Oh, you got 30 minutes, plenty of time."
Yeah.
This is your fault, man. Blaming you. So, want to thank everybody once again. What a great show. I love this, and I like the fact that we got to talk some gaming today too, which we're gonna do more of. We're gonna start bringing more games to the forefront. Next Thursday, it's like Microsoft. It's like Microsoft knew we come on Thursday nights, and they're like, you know what? We'll give you some stuff
something to talk about next week.
Yes, we will. Thank you guys. Thank you in the chat room. Those who were able to stick it through till quarter of. Good night, Niall. Sweet dreams.
Witty.
Sweet dreams, and you, Witty, too. Just want to say,
It's almost time for those guys to get up.
I know. So,
It's almost time for me to get up.
Witty
I haven't even went
doesn't
to bed.
yeah. Congratulations again to Project Jeff for being the NLG Gamer of the Month, and Chris will be
Yes,
reaching
sir.
out to you. That's right.
Yeah,
It's
he has
only 9:44.
3 more minutes to respond.
So, wait, you ditched graphic work, De Niro? Oh my God, we're gonna have to talk. So anyway, thank you everybody. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. But all of you guys are all subscribed. Tell a friend. That's what I should have put over there. And let's keep this thing going. So we'll see you guys next week at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Here in our quarantines. Hey, it was 9:31 when I clicked start. So
What quarantines? What is this quarantine you guys speak of?
you're not Oh, that's right. 'cause
How do I partake?
You don't work for a place that has to deliver essential stuff.
You essential.
So.
It's not essential stuff. Nobody needs a fire pit, a trampoline, a new bed mattress.
I do.
Are you kidding
No.
me?
No.
I'll give you my address after the show. I could use one of each.
Let me
yeah.
tell you something. If Amazon ever shuts their doors, I don't know what my wife will do, because every day something comes to the house. It's like the Wells Fargo wagon. Every day something comes from Amazon.
Bad here too.
It's Amazon, Target, and Walmart. It's like Target is
Yeah.
slowly taking over, but Target's dumb because they seem to ship multiple boxes to the same house all the
Well,
time.
because it comes
Oh,
from
man.
different locations.
No, they're all fulfillment center. Because I've looked
Oh.
at that before, thinking, that's weird. No, it's all from the same place.
Yeah. And you know what? If you order only one thing, you pay shipping. But if you order multiple things, you don't pay shipping, and they still ship it in separate boxes. That doesn't make any sense.
Dumb. Whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
Don't get me started.
Oh,
here. That'll be next week's topic.
oh, real quick.
Quick.
I'm trying to unbox this thing real quick. The
Jesus.
Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah.
It's not a controller.
I have this. I got my
You know, it's the headset. Why aren't you wearing it?
No, because I'm yeah, I thought
Damn
about
it,
that.
Chris.
No, but I want to get the controller if I get the custom console. So, all right, here they are. You got Samurai. I guess that's one of the gang in the.
Their Ghost of Tsushima headset. That's cool.
Cyberpunk.
Got this. I guess that's.
Chris is unboxing the Mandingo. What?
And then this one also says no feature, like the controller. So
It's already trashed.
Is that scratched in there, or is that just paint?
You can feel a little bit. It looks like it's scratched paint. Like just art, just the way they did it.
Interesting. I was curious because that's my turn off on the controller. Is if it's like etched in. I don't really want that.
You don't like it?
No, it looks
don't
like
like it
it feels
etched
like
in?
it's scratched in.
No.
No,
You know what
actually-
ruined it for me was the Gears of War, the Gears of War 4 controller that had the claw marks over the buttons, and the buttons would get stuck in the fucking.
Oh,
in there.
all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I like smooth controllers in the palm of my hands. Occasionally, I liked a little ribbed action to hold the
Oh,
the
my
controller.
God. All right. Let me stop. Oh my
Sounds
God.
like The Last of Us. And shout out to Season Gaming.
Oh, nice.
The coffee mug black.
How did you get that? My shirt hasn't arrived yet. I ordered a shirt.
Well,
So my Earthworm Jim signed Tommy Tallarico book is somebody in the United States is enjoying that right now because I haven't gotten it. It's lost. I am crying.
Did he
But
give
yeah,
you a tracking number?
He's a little busy right now, so I'm trying to get him to at least tell me.
Just sitting. It's probably still sitting on his desk.
Probably.
Yeah. Outgoing mail.
Yeah, which I'm fine with as long as he just says, yeah, it's still on my desk. I'll get it out when I've got time. Send it, put it in a box with the. I'm not selling the game, so put it in a box in October. I don't care. So anyway, I have not gotten my.
He's got to sign the lithograph anyways. So
right. So, and thank you. I don't think Pete's still in the room, but thank you, Open Every Box for buying an NL Gaming shirt and not only supporting us but supporting Jay. Jay, look at his face, man. His eyes are open, but he's asleep.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh no, I think
I don't know if he's frozen or not.
I don't know if
Is he still breathing?
I think he's
hope so.
I think he's frozen because the screen behind him isn't working. So,
Yeah.
I think
Ooh,
yes,
That's the last of him.
maybe he did it on purpose.
nailed it.
Oh yeah, he rolled.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
yeah, he dropped.
He left. Yeah.
All right. Everybody have a great, not the last of him. Okay. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next Thursday night.
I just said what
9:30
Niall was
Eastern.
thinking.
Oh my God. Good night, everybody. Play on, gamers.
Game on, guys.
Thank you.